this?
To bring Muslims to the truth, to bring non-Christians to the truth.
Well, your religion's still the fastest declining religion, and we're still the fastest growing religion.
No, not according to some
you're not
imams.
achieving.
Some imams have acknowledged that you guys have a tsunami of apostasy, guys. What did he use? What's the wording he used? A wave of apostasy or a tsunami of something like that. Something have to do with water. Avalanche. An avalanche of apostasy. Yeah. Some of your
Crazy. That's what you're talking about.
So do you have an argument?
It depends. What do you want to talk about today, Avery? What's going to be the subject today?
Do you see my screen?
Jesus is God changed my mind. What was the caption saying? You had something in, Jesus isn't Muslim. Okay, how is it Jesus Muslim?
Tell me how he is.
He prostrated to God.
He prostrated to God. That's all you got to do to be a Muslim?
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
So what's the definition of Islam?
So if I prostrate to an idol that I say is my God, am I Muslim?
An idol is an idol. It's not God.
Okay. So stop. So what God did Jesus prostrate to?
Allah.
So,
or as he called them, Eloha.
Okay, is Allah a Trinity?
No, he's not.
Okay, is he a father?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah, can you show me in the Quran where it says Allah is a father?
I don't know the book off the top of my head, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
No, go ahead. I'll give you time. Go ahead and go on Google and put in Allah is a father Quran verse. It should pop right up.
I'm sure Moses also referred to God as a father.
You're right, in the Torah, but in the Quran contradicts that. Can you show me in the Quran where Allah says He's a father?
Can you show me in the Quran where the Quran contradicts that?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. No, I got you.
No, I already know what you're going to bring up.
What am I going to bring up? Tell me.
Where it says he is not begotten, nor does he beget.
Oh, not just I actually wasn't going to quote that, but that's a good one. Another one is this. Another one is this. Chapter 19, verse 80. Hold on. Chapter 19, verse 88. It says, "They ascribe to the most beneficent a son." How grievous of an utterance is that? So grievous that even the heavens quake and the earth shatters and the mountains quiver when they ascribe to the most beneficent a son. Far be it above Allah. I'm sorry, far be it is he to have a son. None in the heavens and the earth can come to him except as a slave.
Can I speak?
So you asked me to quote you the verse, so I just quoted you the verse. So did you hear me quote you the verse where it says that Allah? What just happened? Oh man, they tried to get me for hate speech, guys, on TikTok. They tried to get me for hate speech. They tried to get me for hate speech. It's all good. When you coming back to London, bro? Grace to God. I will be coming back soon. I'll be coming back very, very soon. Yeah, I just appealed it. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. See if the appeal works. But in the meantime, it's a good thing we are on YouTube. Good thing we're YouTubers. It's a good thing we're YouTubers. Guys, make sure you guys are smashing that like button. I'm going to drop the link in right now. Just give me 1 second. About to drop the link so that you guys can join up. Matter of fact, here it is. Now, everybody listening, please hear me well. My fellow Christians who I love and adore, please don't annoy me. Do not irritate me. All right? Don't click the link if you are a Christian. Don't annoy me. Respect my wishes. All right? if you happen to be a Christian and I find out that you're a Christian and you hit the link trying to come up, I will ban you. All right? It is as simple as that. I've said it enough. I've said it enough. So make sure that you are not a Christian when the link says Muslims only. All right. Sound good? We all understand it? Do we all get it? I hope we all get it. Don't get banned. I don't want to ban you. But I will. Because I'm like up to here with it. All right. Let's make sure I pin this at the top for my fellow believers. All right. My appeal is approved. So we're going to start this live back up again on TikTok. It's crazy. We had 800 people in there. They killed the live just for it to be the appeal to work, the live to be shut down. It's crazy. Can't stop this, won't stop nothing. Can't stop this, they won't stop this. I just said go to my channel, man. Am I tripping or what? Is this not my channel? All right. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button. Approaching 200,000 subs pretty soon. All right. Don't know why it took this long for me to get here, but whatever. All right, here we go. Here's the link. Paste. Take haste. Paste and take haste. All right. Got a super chat from Jess who says, this one's for the TikTok. Oh, rest in peace, TikTok. They did it again. How is that possible? They shut the live down again. How is that possible? How is my live getting shut down? Incredible. Abdel, welcome back.
Hey, hello.
How you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I am excellent, thank you.
Okay, nice, nice.
Islam is false, man. Change my mind, dog. Change my mind. Give me a reason to say Shahada.
If Islam is false, does that prove that Christianity is true?
Nope.
Thank you. Now let's begin with how do you say that? Showing us that Christianity is the truth.
I asked you to change my mind that Islam is false, guy. Come on, man. But no worries.
I don't have.
You don't
Why?
have...
You have the free will to believe what you want.
Why do you believe Islam is true?
Because I believe in one God, one true God. And
So do I. So do I.
No, you don't.
Well, not just me, though. There are a bunch of monotheists who are non-Muslims. So is being monotheistic, believing in one God, is that
The only one true God.
All right, who's that?
That is Allah.
That's Allah.
Yes.
How do you know that?
is
How do you know that?
because Allah say that in the Quran.
Okay, how do you know that the Quran is telling the truth when it says that Allah is the one true God?
Because we know from proof that the Quran is the only book that is not played with and
Not played with?
yes, with words and with
Yeah, you have different words in many Qurans. What are you talking about?
no, we have one Quran with different
Dude,
dialects.
you have Qurans here. Excuse me. You have Quran. I have 3 Qurans here. 3 of them. 3 different ones.
Yes.
I have 3 different Qurans here, man, with different words in them. What do you mean there's only one Quran? What do you mean there's only one?
There is one Quran and there is different
I have
how do you say
3 right now. I have 3
yes,
Qurans
you
right
have,
now.
you have 3 qira'ats, 3 different qira'ats.
Do they have the same words in them?
As long as I know, yes.
They don't. They have different words in them. They have a lot of places they have the same, and a lot of places they're different.
Show me 10 differences.
I'll show
If
you
say
one.
Allah.
I'll just show you one because you said there are none. I'm gonna just show you one so that you can see that differences do exist. I'll show you just one. So,
Like in the Bible, huh? Okay.
well, if you're saying that that's what makes the Bible false because of textual variance, then
I didn't say that. I didn't say
therefore the
that.
Quran is
didn't
false
say
because it has textual variance.
I didn't say that.
Okay, good. Be careful then. Be careful what you say, Habibi. All right, let me show you this, man. Let me show you this right quick. Yeah, I got banned to the 31st on TikTok. It's all good. What's it doing? Okay, so stop doing that. Let's go ahead and close that up. All right. Now let's go ahead and share this. Okay. How do I get this over? Okay. That's good. That's about good enough. All right. So this is chapter 37, verse 12 in the Quran. Chapter 37, verse 12. I like this website because it shows you the color differences. This is just a simple one I'll show you. This right here, this is Hafs. Probably the one, I'm sorry, this one right here. This one is Hafs. The one that you're probably most familiar with. Okay? I'm going to switch it to English so you can see. This is Hafs. It's Kaloon. I don't know why this translates it as workshops, but this is Warsh. It translated as workshops. It's funny. It's Warsh. Okay, these are the 3 Qurans that I have on my desk. There's others as well that I don't have with me currently. There's others. Okay, now they all say the same thing. The word that we're focusing on is ajepta. Right here, that's the word. When we scroll down to the Caliph Quran and Al Kasai Quran, it's Ajep too. So in the first one, Allah's saying to Muhammad, you wonder why they mock. In the second one, he's saying, I wonder why
What?
they mock.
Yes, and that's I for us that's yeah, how do you say that? It is the same meaning, but from a different perspective.
How is it the same meaning if Allah's the one wondering or Muhammad's the one wondering? How is it the
Yeah,
same meaning?
it's because it's the same.
So, also
How-
Muhammad is Allah.
No, but
So,
from
so
his
who?
perspective,
So who's wondering?
it depends from which Quran you
Thank
read.
you. Very good.
But
It depends
but
on which. No, you just answered
but
it. It
yes,
depends on which Quran you read, which shows
yes.
you that there are different Qurans. Thank you, brother.
No, but listen, this is maybe one word in a different style, yes, from a different perspective, but
It's
it
not one word in
means
a different style. It's a
the
completely different
context,
word.
but the context is the same.
It goes
But
from you to I. How's it? How's the context the same thing?
this it is really that if you read the whole text, it's from it is about the same story and the same, but only from the prophet's perspective or from Allah's perspective. But
Who's the one speaking?
Allah
There you go.
speaks,
So it's so it's both. It's not different.
but
Wait, wait,
wait,
wait.
wait
Stop,
one, wait, wait,
stop, stop.
wait,
Allah's
wait
the
one
one
second.
speaking in both Qurans, correct?
Yes, but
So it's not.
he can
It's not.
also
It's,
he can
perspective
also
doesn't change. Perspective
like
does not change.
like like
Per-
like
Perspective
in the
doesn't change. If I
wait,
say
wait one
you want,
second.
you are. If I say you're sitting down in the chair, I'm. It's still from my perspective. You're sitting down in the chair. If I say I'm sitting down in the chair, from my same perspective, but the subject changes. I'm the one sitting down in the chair.
Yeah, but
So it ain't a different
it
perspective.
doesn't it doesn't change the context of the story about in the Quran, and
Yeah, it does
that's
because it changes who's wondering.
yeah,
Who's
but
wondering?
listen. This is not the only Allah can. This is Allah's words, but He can also speak for someone else in another perspective, like a third. How do you say that? Yeah, that's the problem with people that doesn't speak Arabic language.
You
That's
speak Arabic?
the yeah, a little bit. Yes,
You speak Arabic?
yes.
Is there a difference between I and you?
The Arabic language is you cannot compare the Arabic language.
I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that. Is there a difference between I and you?
And I said to you that every language has its own grammatica. You understand? The
Get out of here. They really make it hard for me to say that anyone reasons worse than them. They make it so difficult. They make it so difficult to say that there are people that are less intelligent than they are. They make it tough. They make it tough. Because after talking to that oneness and then talking to this guy side by side, how do I say which one is intelligently superior, intellectually superior? How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Do you remember me?
Slightly. I remember you being here before. Were you on TikTok or here?
Here in YouTube.
Oh,
I saw.
yeah. You're supposed to show me where Jeremiah says he's the first and last, right?
Yeah, it's in I think 1:5.
So in Jeremiah 1:5, Jeremiah says he's the first and the last?
He does not say first and the last, but he says that he was appointed
Okay.
prophet of the nation before he
Well,
was born.
that's what God says. So,
Before he was born.
okay. So it doesn't say that he's the first and the last, right?
Yeah,
Got it.
but
So
how?
we have, but early last time you said that Jeremiah does say to be the first and the last. So we see that that was actually false. I'm glad that you came back and you can admit that. So now Jesus claims to be God in the Bible when he claims to be the first and the last, right?
Yeah, but Milky also claims to be first and the last. I mean, he has no beginning
All
or
right.
the end,
So
right?
I mean, we can, I'm gonna give you one chance to be honest. If you're not honest, I would rather talk to myself. Does it say that Melchizedek is the first and the last? Yes or no?
No.
Thank you. So don't lie. Don't lie and say the Bible also says that Melchizedek is the first and last. Thank you so much. Thank you for not lying. So you understand that Jesus, he says explicitly that he is the first and the last, correct?
Yeah.
Is there anybody else in the Bible other than God where the title first and last is applied to them?
No.
So it's pretty clear that Jesus is making a claim to be God, correct?
Yeah.
All right. That's why we believe it. So the Bible teaches that Jesus is God, man.
Yeah, but,
So
I have a question if you can clarify.
sure.
Yeah, so previously you said that they are equal, but it says the Father is greater than I. So are they equal or greater?
They're equal in one sense, and the Father's greater in another sense. They're equal when it comes to ontology, their nature, their essence, since they share the same essence. They both are God. They are equal in their essence and nature. Where the Father is greater than Jesus is in his authority, his role. He submits to the Father, right? And so, because Jesus takes the form of a servant and humbles himself to the Father is greater in authority than he is. So, he's equal in one sense, greater in another.
So they're equal in nature and he is greater in authority, right? The Father is
Yep.
greater in authority.
Yes, he submits his authority to the Father. Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So the Father, Father has more authority than Jesus.
He submits his authority to the Father. So, yeah.
So if both are God, then how can God submit to God?
Well, when God is multi-personal and one of the persons of the Godhead decides to humble himself before the Father and take on the form of a servant and relinquish that authority to the Father, that's how he can freely, willfully submit to the Father's authority. It doesn't change his nature. Has no effect on what he is. It doesn't change the fact that he is God, just like the Father is. Just
Okay,
in their
so
roles, he submits.
his human nature submits to God, but his
No,
divine nature.
natures don't do anything. He,
Okay.
the Son, submits to the Father. Natures don't
So
act. They don't do anything.
so when we are talking about Jesus, we have two natures, right?
That's
A
right.
divine nature and a man nature, right?
That's right.
So when Jesus submits to the Father, so in both sense he's submitting to the Father, right?
There is no dude. He as a person submits to the Father. Human nature and divine nature, natures don't do anything.
Okay.
Natures don't make decisions. Persons do. Okay? So the person happens to be both divine and human. He, Jesus, submits to the Father.
Okay. So did Father submit to Jesus?
Nope.
Why?
Not his role. That's the role of the Son that the Son took. The Son is
Okay,
the one
I
who's
have a
begotten
question
of the Father.
rather in my mind. Like when you said Jesus is Son of God, so Jesus, in which sense you are saying Son of God? I mean,
He shares the same divine essence as the Father. The Father, begets the Son eternally.
so do you mean he's physically the Son of God, or it's just a term of endearment?
Neither. He's the actual Son of God. God is not physical, so it can't be physical Son of God.
So
But
okay,
he is the real Son of God, that he shares the same divine essence as the Father. The Father begets the Son. The Son is brought forth from the Father's essence eternally.
so you are saying he's begotten Son.
That's right. That's what Jesus says.
So can you give me the verse of begotten Son?
Yeah.
Sure, please.
Yep. Give me 1 second. Put it on the screen. Share this tab. Sorry. Hebrews 1. All right. Here it is. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. Okay, so talking about the Son. If you want context, we can read the before verses, but just to get you directly to what you asked. For to which of the angels did God ever say, "You are my son, today I've begotten you"? Or again, "I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son"?
So is
And
Jesus
again,
only begotten Son, or is Jesus only begotten Son, or there are someone?
Jesus is
Or
the only one who's begotten. See,
okay,
notice how this is applying this to Jesus being the begotten Son of God. This is actually a psalm of David. David is prophesying, speaking prophetically about the Messiah. So, yep,
so
Jesus
Jesus.
is the only begotten Son. That's what Jesus says himself too. So, yep.
So there are no other begotten Son other than Jesus.
Other than Jesus, nope, he's the only one.
So
Thank you
which
so
verse is
much,
it?
Dead Mike, for the super chat. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you.
And which verse is it? Hebrews. In which
This is
verse?
Hebrews. Yeah, this is Hebrews chapter 1, verse 5.
Okay, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Can you open Psalms of David 2:7?
I just said that. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 5 is quoting Psalm 2:7, where David is speaking prophetically about the Messiah.
Okay.
So it's not about David, it's about the Messiah.
Okay. So in Psalms of David, I think David is also begotten Son of God, I think.
Did you hear what I just said, bro?
Yeah.
What did I just say?
You said in Hebrews that David is speaking that Jesus is Son of God.
I'll say it again. I'll say it one last time. It's all right. In Hebrews, it's quoting Psalm. It's quoting David in Psalm 2:7. It applies Psalm 2:7 to Jesus, where David is speaking in Psalm 2:7. So David is prophetically speaking about the Messiah, not himself.
Oh, okay. So that verse is referring to Jesus.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand now.
Exactly.
Why are you so angry, man?
No, I'm not angry. I just when I say something, maybe twice, and then you know, like ignore what I say, that part is, could be irritating.
I didn't ignore. I didn't understand. Sometimes it's happened, right?
Sometimes it happens, but sometimes, what I deal with certain people, they do that type of stuff on purpose. They play dumb. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you genuinely didn't understand what I'm saying, what I said, I noticed I didn't accuse you of anything. I explained it again, and you got it. But
because I'm very younger than you.
you gotta listen so that I don't have to do that over and over again. You know, please
I
listen.
didn't understand because I'm very younger than you.
Say that again.
I didn't understand because I'm very younger than you.
Because you're younger than me.
Yeah,
You being younger than me has nothing to do with this. With
I am a
your
16-year-old.
that doesn't mean that you can't understand. I was 16 too. I can understand when people say something to me.
There are certain things that are complex. So
Yeah, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But you can listen. Like if you listen to what the person is saying, you know, you won't then immediately say something against what they just said. Like if when I said that Hebrews 1:5 is quoting the Psalm of David in Psalm 2, where he's prophetically talking about Jesus, not about himself. You then, right after I said that, said, I think David is also the begotten son in Psalm 2. When I just addressed that, you know?
okay,
So
sorry.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
And I have one more doubt when I'm reading the Bible, and I think it's in Matthew or in Mark, I think, where Jesus said that he didn't know the hour. You know that verse?
Yeah.
I think it is in Mark 13:32, and it's also in Matthew, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did he didn't know the hour?
Just a question. Have you ever looked into these questions that you are asking me?
Yeah, I have looked up some. I have read that some Christian address it to Paul, right? I think it's in Corinthians. I think yeah, it's in Corinthians. That
Nice.
verse.
So what do you
See,
what do you understand from that answer?
so I understand that that Peter, when he said the crucify, that it's
For
something
Paul?
like I'm forgetting. Just a second. I'm forgetting what he said.
He
I just
said,
searched.
when I came to you, I decided to know nothing except Jesus and him crucified.
Yeah.
What did you understand from the answer that you've seen from Christians give when they relate Jesus using the word no and to the context of how Paul used the word no, the word oiden?
So they say, yeah. So they say that it does not mean that he don't know. He said he declared to not to know. It was
So
he declared.
it's declaring, right? So to make known the hour. It's not that he doesn't know the hour. It's just that it's not for him to declare the hour, nor an angel or a man, right? But for the Father only to declare it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and what do you think of that response?
But I think that both verses are in saying in a different context. I mean, in Corinthians, the answer of the Paul is different than the answer of Jesus, because Jesus didn't say that I didn't declare, but the verse says that he don't know. It does not say that he declared not to know, but it says he didn't know.
And the verse with Paul, he didn't say that he uh, decided to only declare Jesus crucified. He said that he didn't know anything except Jesus and him crucified when he came to them. So does that mean that he didn't know anything?
No, he maybe.
So just like how it doesn't have to say the words declare for you to understand how the word is being used, especially the Greek word oida or oiden, which is the same word that Jesus is using in Mark 13:32. We see how it's used in a declarative sense.
And can you give me the other answer of that? I think there are two answers, I think.
Well, that's the answer that I lean to. That's the answer that I lean to. That it's he's talking about declarative, not ignorance.
Okay. So Jesus knew the hour.
He sure did. Matter of fact, when he's asked this question again in Acts chapter 1, they ask him, all right, is it now? Is the time now, Father? Or I'm sorry, is the time now, Lord, where you will restore the kingdom back to Israel? Right? That's asking about the hour. Jesus says, it's not for you to know. And this time it's a different word that he uses for know. Talking about cognitive. It's not for you to know the times and the seasons fixed by the Father's authority. That's Acts chapter 1, verse 7. Okay. So he doesn't say it's not for us to know. He doesn't say, remember, guys, I told you, like, I don't know. Why are you asking me this? No, he says it's not for you to know. The times of the season's fixed, and he uses a different word in the Greek for the word no. So, yeah, he definitely knew.
Okay. So Jesus said that it is not for you to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Acts chapter 1, verse 7. Did you want to
Okay.
see that?
Yeah.
All right, let me try to get there. My Bible Gateway app is tripping. Let me go to my other app. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, guys. Make sure y'all hitting the like button. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Acts chapter 1. All right, let's make this bigger. And all right. All right. So they ask. So when they had come together, they asked him, Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? He said to them, it is not for you to know times or seasons that the Father has fixed by his own authority. All right. Not for us to know. Not I told you I didn't know. It's not for you to know. And it's a different word in the Greek.
Okay.
All right. So that's the answer, man. Watch. And also, hold on, let me just keep this up here. The Bible clearly says that Jesus is all knowing, man. John 16, verse 30 and 31. Look. Verse 30. Now we know that you know all things and do not need anyone to question you. This is why we believe that you came from God. Now watch Jesus' response. Do you now believe? You just now figuring this out, he says. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So he affirms that yes, they're right. But you just now finding that out, you just now believing this? You should have been known this. I've been with you the whole time.
Okay.
All right. So the Bible is clear that Jesus is all knowing. So even in light of that, we know that Jesus is all knowing and definitely isn't speaking of ignorance. So it even helps us, with a clearer interpretation of that.
So why did Jesus say in Mark 13:32 that he don't know? I think the proper word that should be used there, that it should be revealed, right?
I think that revealed would have been a simpler word to use. If you're talking about in our time, in our generation, for them, they understand it. For them, they didn't think that Jesus is saying he doesn't know. Right? They understand it. That's like nobody's thinking that Paul is not saying that he didn't know anything else other than Jesus being crucified. Right? There's other times where the word know is used too. Like, for example, it says, then Adam knew his wife and she bore him children. Now, what does the word know there in that context mean?
What?
So there's another verse that talks about how Adam, it says, Adam knew his wife and she bore him children. How's the word know being used there in that context?
He knew.
Yeah, but he already knew her. He already knew her. He's the one who named her. So when it says Adam knew his wife and she bore him children, what does it mean that? What is it? How is it using the word knew? No.
It says.
What do you think?
I don't. Can you tell me? I don't know.
It means that he slept with her.
Okay.
He slept with her, and she got pregnant. Okay. That's how it uses the word know in that context. Adam knew his wife. It says the same thing about Abraham. Then Abraham knew Sarah. She bore him Isaac. So
Abraham,
even the word, but the better word to use for us and our understanding would have been, and then Adam, slept with or had intercourse with his wife, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
For us. But if we're reading it in context, we can understand the context and how it's used.
Okay.
So,
So in that context you're talking about, right?
yep.
Okay. That makes a little bit sense.
Here's another way to look at it, bro. Another way to look at it is how Jesus compares his coming to a wedding, a Jewish wedding specifically.
Yeah. I know.
So
I
you've
know
heard
that.
that,
I
right?
read it. Yeah.
All right, so you've already heard that. So
Yeah.
it just makes sense. It's for the father to declare, not the bride or the bridegroom. So you
Yeah.
get it. You get it.
So how many years you are studying Bible?
Shoot. Studying Bible, man. I'll say I'm 29 now, probably 9 years. I'll say 9 years. Give it
Really?
9, 10 years. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Since I was about, 18-ish, 19-ish, 20. I think I was like in my 20s is when I really started really seeing stuff like 2021, 22. That's when I really started like diving in deep and getting really theologically sound, Yeah, I'm 29, haters. What's up? We got Jason over here. He said, make sure to beat that like button lightly, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button,
I
guys.
have more question if you wanna answer.
Yeah, what's your next question?
Yeah, I'm saying that Jesus was tempted by devil, I think, when he was on desert, right?
He was
was
what by
tested.
the devil? Oh, tempted.
Jesus was tempted by devil when he was on desert, right?
He tried to tempt him. Yeah, he tried, but he failed. But yes.
But I think he was tempted by devil.
Was he?
Yeah.
Looks like he failed, though, to me.
He was failed.
So what's
he
your
was not
question?
tempted. So my question is,
The devil tried to, and he failed.
okay, he was failed.
He failed.
But I think I have written that he was tempted.
So the devil tried to tempt Jesus.
Yeah.
And in his temptation of Jesus, he failed.
Okay.
Here's something interesting about that. Jesus says in that verse, because the devil's trying to tempt Jesus, right?
Yeah.
He says in that verse, this Jesus says to him, he says, it is written, you are not to tempt the Lord your God. So Satan is trying to tempt Jesus. Jesus responds to him by saying, you are not to tempt the Lord your God. Okay. So who is the Lord? Who is Jesus saying is the Lord and God of Satan there?
Himself, maybe.
Himself. That's right.
So I think there are verses in the Bible that the language of the Bible is different. For example, if you see in Bible, it says that, and we have sent Moses as God to the Israel. Are you reading the verse? We have sent Moses as God to the Israel.
To Pharaoh, and Aaron shall be your prophet.
God to Pharaoh. So this type of word uses in Bible, right? This is the metaphorical of the Bible.
Oh, well, you see that Moses is not called God, but he is sent as God, and Aaron being his prophet. So he's representing God, and then Aaron being his spokesperson, right? He's not called God there. But Jesus here claims to be God here, and claims to be God everywhere else, not metaphorically.
No, I
he doesn't come as God. He is God.
Yeah, as God.
Yeah, he doesn't come. Jesus doesn't come as God. He is God. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let somebody else up, my man. I'm gonna let somebody else up. But thanks for coming. You have more questions? You could come back on the next stream.
All right. I have one more question. One more.
I gotta get to the other guests, bro. I gotta get to the other guests. Okay. So save your question. Bring it next time.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Take care. What up, brother?
What's up, man?
Man, nothing much, man. What the deal is?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Good to hear your voice again, bro. Yeah. What's on your mind?
Oh yeah, I just got questions on John 5:7.
Okay.
Yeah. In the King James
That's
Bible.
Sig there. What up, Sig? Hold on, sorry. What's up, Sig? Sigo's in the house.
Tee tee. How you guys doing, man? Is everything all right?
We're good. We're good. All right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was asking why King James Bible has 1 John 5:7, but in the ESV and the NIV it doesn't have it. That was my question.
Okay. So this is dealing with textual manuscripts. So
Yeah.
like the King James version is going on dealing with like later manuscripts than like the ESV or the NIV Bible is leaning on. So the manuscript tradition that they are using, that's why you will see a little variant like that.
Okay. So I want to ask the question: why do people make the arguments that you see the ESV took out this verse because it was later on added to? So does the NIV. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fallacious. That those are people who are just accusing when you have older manuscripts, right? Or some that are so like the King James version is relying on later manuscripts. It's like their manuscripts are late compared to the ones that ESV is relying on, right? Now these were discovered, later. Like the King James, the people who put together King James, they didn't have access to these earlier manuscripts that were later discovered. So it's not that stuff is being taken out or because, this is added. No, they're just using this early manuscript tradition that the people who put together King James didn't have access to.
Yeah.
So is the ESV going off of a different manuscript?
No, not really. Well, yes. He's going off of a. Oh, Godless, do you want to do this or not?
No, go ahead if you have something to say.
Yeah. So basically, ESV is using different manuscripts. That's true. However, the important point to note, and I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to other people that are in chat as well, is how these manuscripts are created. So we spend a lot of time trying to work out how to read them and how to date them, but not that much time is spent on how a manuscript is created, as in like how a specific composition is. One of the things that we know is something known as the lectionary cycle. Basically, we read the Bible every single year, and we read it in a specific pattern every single year. And so we will section off texts of the Bible based on the days that we would read. So for example, I'd read John chapter 1 verses 1 to 14 on Monday, and then on Tuesday I might read Romans 9 verses 1 to 7. And as time goes on, scribes would just record and write manuscripts according to the lectionary cycle. So they would just siphon parts of texts off and record them for the days of the year that they needed to, because paper was expensive. So if you're a scribe in the 200s AD and you know that the day, let's say October 8th, you need to read the Pericope Adulterae, you're not going to record all of John chapter 7 verses 1 to 52. You're just going to record the thing that you need, which is John 7:53 to 8:11. And that's actually how we get these different pericopes or sections of text. We know this because early fathers of the church, like John Chrysostom in the 300s, he refers to the assignment of specific passages for specific Sundays to be read. So it's very much just possible that when we were recording the manuscripts, one of the scribes basically forgot to put in somewhere in the lectionary reading. So it's still there, it's just that you wouldn't record it for this day because you didn't need it right now because it's in the middle of the summer and you're not reading this section of the text in the middle of the summer. Now, when it comes to specifically the manuscripts that are used by the Textus Receptus, which is what is used by the KJV, the pericope is in there. But even before the Codex Sinaiticus, for example, we have church fathers that reference it. A good example is someone called Pacian of Barcelona, and I'm going to put his name in the comments so you guys can research him. His name is Pacian of Barcelona. Now, Pacian of Barcelona actually quotes the pericope. Crazy thing is, he's around before the Codex Sinaiticus, So we have early patristic evidence of people using the lectionary cycle with the pericope in there. It's just that sometimes when we use our manuscripts, you know, we just focus on other parts of the text because we're reading it at different parts of the year. So it was there. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, another question I have. Do you guys believe in like the early writings? Like, for example, Mark was written after 70 AD, or Luke was written no before 70 AD, or Luke was written, you know, during the 50s, or
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
You guys believe that? What's your
Absolutely.
evidence for that?
If you want to.
Yeah, so a lot of academics will date the Gospels, and the reasons they give are various. They will, I'm just going to give you both opinions. Number one, they will date the Gospels later because of the fact of certain things of the temple destruction. So certain, oh my gosh, is that life?
Yep.
Life, look at your hair.
Your mic is super loud, bro.
Oh my gosh, my life, look at your hair. Oh my goodness. You look so nah, your beard is amazing. No glaze. This is great. Okay. All right, let me get back on topic. Okay. let me get back on let me get back on topic. So
Thank you.
sorry. So number one, okay, you have those people will date it later for certain reasons. Now, as for people like us, we will date certain gospel texts earlier due to other evidences. A good general argument to start off conversations is a text that takes place in John chapter 5, verse 2, where a specific pool is mentioned. People like Daniel B. Wallace brought up the point that perhaps the author of the Gospel of John would have had to have been there to have seen the pool. So the text may have to have been dated much earlier than the dates that we give it for, because that pool doesn't exist post 70 AD. So the pool by the beautiful gate, that thing gets destroyed post 70. So you would only know of the pool if you were around at the time.
The pool of Bethesda.
The pool of Bethesda, yeah, exactly. So you would need to know what the pool actually looked like in order for you to even make that claim. So the author of the text would have had to be a pre-70 person at least.
So this kind of shows that John was the one that's writing this, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good data to suggest that John was probably the guy that wrote the text, right? Other evidences that we look at in specific gospels like Matthew are the amount of times that he mentions money. So the church received the idea that Matthew was a tax collector, and what would you expect from a tax collector? Well, you would expect from a tax collector that he likes to focus on money. Turns out that Matthew focuses on money a lot in the gospel. So these are other points in data that you could suppose that, you know, they mention these things there to give an earlier dating. But one of the more compelling points of evidence is the fact that Romans refers to the writings of Luke, which quotes, which uses Mark and Matthew as a source, as scripture. So if the letters of Paul are all 70 AD, and the letters of Paul have already referred to Luke's writings as scripture, then the writings of Luke would have already have been complete by the time Paul quotes them. You see? So Paul is quoting Luke, and Luke uses Matthew and Mark as a source, because Luke tells us that. So all of these three synoptic gospels get pushed way back. Yeah,
Wait,
you're
so
muted,
why-
God Logic.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Shay.
Why are they pushed all the way back instead of like kind of having it where it's supposed to be?
No. When I say pushback, I mean pre-70, right? I mean that the dating that we usually give is post-70. But this is an argument to say that it might be pre-70, right? Because let me ask you a question, right? Do you know when Paul died?
He died in the 60s, right?
Exactly, right? Some people say specifically AD 64, right? But doesn't matter. He died in the 60s. But Paul, by the time he's dying in the 60s, Paul has already written all of his texts of scripture. He's already written them because he's dead at the time. But in Paul's writings, Paul quotes Luke, and he says Luke is scripture. So that would mean that the Gospel of Luke already has to exist. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I've seen someone trying to argue that what's it called? That Luke or Paul, whoever it was, they try making the argument that what's it called?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what argument it was. 1 second.
Yeah. Go ahead. It's okay.
Yeah, I forgot the argument, but it was something about like, oh, that it doesn't make sense or something, like Luke or Paul, what's it called? Quoted Luke or as scripture.
Yeah, so here's the actual argument, right? So 1 Timothy chapter 5, okay, is the actual text that people quote. So I'll share my screen if God logic permits me. 1 Timothy 5, okay? Right here, you're going to see something very cool, okay? So this is the letter to Timothy, Paul to Timothy. And here, he refers to a specific quote. He says, "Let the elders who rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially those who labor in word and doctrine. For Scripture says," so he says, Scripture says, "you shall not muzzle an ox while it treads out its grain." That makes sense, right? It's just a verse in the Old Testament, and I can get the verse for you. But this is another quotation where it says, "The laborer is worthy of his wages." Now, this specific text is from Luke 10.
Is it only in Luke or anywhere else?
Yeah. "The laborer is worthy of his wages" is in Luke 10.
Okay.
If you go to Luke 10, I believe, not John, Luke 10. I might be wrong here, but it's okay. The laborer is worthy of his wages. I'll just get it here. Worthy of his wages. There you go. Right there. Luke 10:7. As you can see, I actually searched up the specific quotation, and you can see how it is only in Luke. Word for word. The laborer is worthy of his wages. The laborer is worthy of his wages. That's nowhere else in the Bible. You see?
Oh, dang. Wow.
Yeah. So if he's quoting Luke, and you have to understand, brother, right?
Yeah.
This is an academic argument you can make. If he's quoting the Luke text, then this text for Timothy, which is pre-70, pushes Luke back pre-60. Luke has to be written decades ago.
Yeah, this kind of
Right.
makes sense, actually, yeah.
Exactly. So now we have these things, okay? We have these things that are going on. Luke is now being quoted pre-70. You have fathers in Spain that already quote the pericope. I'm just getting the actual book up for you so that you can see it. Okay? So you can see here, let me just make sure I control F this. Sorry guys. That's how you know that I was wrong. I was wrong about that. Where does it say? A person's able, I'm assuming if you ought to believe that Susanna confessed adultery because he didn't deny that the Lord Jesus assented to false witnesses. Yeah, this is the specific text that I'm actually getting up. Right here. So Patian quotes a specific verse, and this is in his letter to Orsius of Braga, okay? And here is the quotation for everyone to see. Now, Patian of Barcelona, for everyone that knows, is a 4th century specific theologian, okay? And he quotes the pericope. I'll get the specific text, but he quotes the pericope, essentially basically talking about the accusation of adultery. And he basically says, look, this is a quotation. And so this person appears before the Codex Sinaiticus. His writings at least appear before the Codex Sinaiticus. So what that shows is things like the pericope most likely were just not in certain lectionary readings. And that's normal. because we started to section off our manuscripts of the Bible according to the way we would sing them in church services. That's what we would do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like I knew the argument of what's it called, Luke being written later, but I didn't know the evidence for it. Yeah. Because I never heard some evidence. This is the first time I'm hearing evidence about it. Yeah. One of the questions I have is, what's the evidence that Polycarp is the disciple of John?
That Polycarp is the disciple of John. Well, okay. This is actually a good one. If God Logic wants to do this, this is fine as well.
Yeah, if this could be quicker, let's do this quickly. And
yeah, this is gonna be speedy quick. This is gonna be speedy quick. All right, I'm gonna speed run you. Is this okay, bro?
Make sure it's understandable too.
Fam, I'm gonna make it as clear as I'm trying to say. Okay, let's go to who Polycarp was. Okay, so basic Google search of who Polycarp was is that Polycarp was the bishop of Smyrna. Okay, if anyone does any sort of research on him, okay, Polycarp is the literal bishop of Smyrna. Okay. Now, the reason I'm showing this is so that you can see who he is, okay? Christian Bishop of Smyrna, this is pretty much uncontested, okay? Bishop of Smyrna. Now, here is something very, very important, okay? In Revelation, okay, Christ sends letters to 7 churches, okay? Church of Philadelphia, Church of Laodiceans, churches everywhere, okay? But then he sends, right, letters to the church in Smyrna. So it says Ephesus right there. Angel of the church in Smyrna. You see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Good. Now, how long do you think Polycarp lived for?
Well, I've seen he lived for, I think he died at 86, did he?
So Polycarp says himself in the martyrdom of Polycarp that he lived as a Christian for 86 years, meaning he converted to the religion and was bishop for that long. So he was bishop for decades. So if he converted and was Christian for 86 years, if you trace back 86 years ago to his death, then he would have been around the time of John setting up the see in the first place. Thus, he would have been in the time frame of becoming the bishop of Smyrna, which decades later he would become. And so when Revelation is written, he would be around 40 years in as a Christian and old enough in the Christian church to be a bishop. So at that time, when Revelation is being written in 96 AD, Polycarp would have been able to be Bishop of Smyrna. That's how we know he was a student of John.
1 minute.
Take the time you need. But I think God Logic is going to speed this on now. So thank you so much.
I think he's writing notes. You writing this down, Sheik?
I'm trying to think about what you just said.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So basically, Polycarp would have been around and old enough to become a bishop in Smyrna, the letters that John is writing to. And who is it?
One second. I also read about what's it called, Tertullian Irenaeus saying that Polycarp was made bishop by the apostles. Is that true?
Polycarp was who?
Was made bishop by the apostles.
Yeah, most likely, because he was a Christian for 86 years.
Yeah. So it would be most likely John then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense right there.
Yeah,
right.
I want to find and that's pretty much it. So hopefully, hopefully that helps. And bro, I was eating food before this. Please don't embarrass me.
We're gonna bring up the next guest.
All right. I'll see myself out anyway. So God bless you guys. All right.
Oh, all right. Well, take care.
I go bounce out. Listen, it's like I need to go to my sister's graduation tomorrow. Okay, so I gotta get going. All right.
All right, take care now. Thanks for coming through, Sheik. You can come back, as I always say, anytime, bro. Anytime.
All right, thank you, bro.
All right, peace. What's up, man? You believe Allah's all powerful? Sadie.
Hey man, what's up, big bro? You all right?
What's up, man? You believe Allah's all powerful?
Do I believe what?
You believe Allah's all powerful?
What?
Do you believe?
Yeah, I heard you. But
All right.
I was taken aback by that question because you know the answer to that. And I was about to say something else, so I was like, well, I had to catch myself.
Catch yourself?
Yeah, you know.
Praise God. Praise God. That's good. You know, self-control is one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit. All right, nice. You believe Allah is all powerful. So if he wasn't all powerful, then he wouldn't be God, right?
Yeah.
All right,
default, yes.
I got you. Could he have a son if he wanted to?
Yeah, we've had this conversation. He says be, and it is.
He says be, and it is. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So he could do it without help.
Yeah. Without a consort.
Without a consort, but he says that he needs a consort to do it.
No, he was trying to make a point.
He doesn't. Trying to show that he can't have a son because he doesn't have a consort. That's his point. He's making.
Showing that he's all by himself.
Showing that he's all by himself and therefore can't have a son because he's all by himself. He needs someone else to be there in order for him to have a son.
Yeah, but this is so. Today I came to ask a question. That
what we doing?
Yeah. So you know,
where you going?
I'm saying like we had this conversation before. You know, when you had a whole panel of people. You know, but today I really want to know what you had to say about this verse that I found.
But wait a second. So do we both together understand that Allah's not all powerful in the Quran because he needs help?
No, but there's some things that are not befitting for Almighty to do.
Yeah, so, things that are not befitting.
Huh?
We're not talking about what befits him. We're talking about what he's capable of doing. And it says that he's not capable of having a son without a consort.
That does not befit his majesty. That's why
it doesn't befit his majesty, nor does it befit his ability, it seems.
We're gonna have to disagree. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on this.
What are you disagreeing with?
That you wanna say that he's not capable of having a son, but he said he is capable.
Or the Quran? Am I saying that, or is the Quran saying that?
But he said that he is able to have a son, and if
as long as he has a wife,
he can say be, and the son comes.
He doesn't say I can have a son by saying be, and it is.
But he does say that.
He says if he wanted to, he could choose a son from any of his creation. However, for him to have a son, he would need a wife to create a son.
But so are you skipping over the fact that we believe that Allah existed eternally all by himself. So if he's trying to tell you that, hey, I'm all by myself and you and me need a wife to have a son, he doesn't have that person to have a son.
I know.
You know? We're just going to go around. I'm just going to keep saying the same thing.
So therefore, he needs that other person to have a son to begin with.
So
showing that he's not all powerful.
So, Avery, do you think that you're more powerful than Allah?
I think that we are equally as powerful because he needs a wife just like I do.
So you think he's lonely now because he doesn't have a wife?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't care if he is or not.
See what I'm saying? See, but that opens up all these other doors that don't need to be opened.
It sure does. If you,
but we can understand that.
Oh, what for your mic? Dang.
My mic?
Yo, you're good now. It just went super loud for a second. Look,
I think because Ibn Daoud came in.
You wouldn't have any of these. You wouldn't have any of these. Can you hear me?
Suleiman.
Sadi, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. I'm listening.
Yeah, okay. You wouldn't have any of these can of worms if you served and worshiped the true God instead of this counterfeit who needs a wife to have a son. You wouldn't have all these can of worms. My God doesn't need a wife to have a son.
Yeah. But he needs to get breastfed and change his diaper.
When he takes on human nature, he chooses to do that.
So I feel like my God.
You see how my God is not limited and your God is?
But so that's basically what the question was for me to you. You know, Psalm 20, verse 6.
What?
Explain that to me.
I'm not going to explain anything until you can concede that your God needs someone else and is therefore not all powerful.
There's no concession there to be made. I told
There
you.
is, because you
he said
yourself acknowledge that he says he doesn't have anyone with him, so therefore he can't have a son. Just like you guys, you need a wife to have a son. That's what you understand. I don't have anyone with me, so therefore I can't have a son. So stop saying that, pagans.
So okay. Do you believe that God exists eternally, past and future?
Yeah, my God
And
does.
then for him to have a son, what would be the purpose of the son?
The son, we're not arguing the purpose of the son. We're arguing the capability of God to have a son in the first place.
But
My
why?
God
Why
can,
would he
and by
have?
necessity he
Why
can.
does he need to have a son?
Nobody said he needs to. Nobody said that.
So that's the point he's making. I
Sadi,
don't need to have a son.
he doesn't say I don't need to have a son. He says he can't. How can he have a son when he doesn't have a girlfriend? No one is talking about need. We're talking about his capability. Do you understand the difference of what we're dealing with here? Do you understand that the argument isn't that he needs a son? The argument is can he have it? And if he can he do it by himself?
Yeah,
so,
by saying be. Right?
All right, well, not about to go in circles, man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But now do I get to put in my question?
No. You don't deserve to ask me a question if you're dishonest with the first argument.
That's not being dishonest. That's not being dishonest. That's my theology, bro. You want me to switch up my theology to?
I want you to be honest with your theology. I know it's your theology. Be consistent with your theology and follow its logical conclusion. Don't lie.
But he doesn't. But he doesn't make it doesn't make him less of an almighty, powerful God if he's saying that this right here that you are ascribing to me it does not befit my nature. You know, it's like I can't be pregnant. Can you be pregnant? Does that make me less of a man because I can't get pregnant?
Hey, Sadi.
Yeah.
Does he say it doesn't befit him to have a son because he doesn't have a girlfriend?
It says that somewhere else.
Or does it say he can't have a son because he doesn't have a girlfriend?
But you got to look at the Quran.
Which one does it say, Sadi? You said you're being honest. Which one does it say?
It says that how can he have a son when he doesn't have a wife?
So what does he need in order to have a son according to that verse?
We're just going to keep going around in circles, bro. But I think it's clear right there. It says it. He's all by himself.
Oh, you're in the car. You're too loud. Hey, Salman, get somewhere where you're not driving anymore, and then I'll let you up. All right.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, not bad, not bad.
So is your name Ramon or is it Ahmed?
Oh, I call myself nickname Ahmed, but it's Ramon.
It's Ramon. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Are you a Muslim?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's on your mind?
So yeah, it was just based around the question I think you asked the previous brother about, can God essentially have a son? And I think you quoted an ayah from the Quran, right? So it's like basically asking the question, can God create a rock which is so heavy that he can't lift? Now, these are very, very deep philosophical questions, theological questions. Scholars have written books and books, volumes and volumes. So I don't think this essentially debunks Islam per se. It's just a very deep philosophical question that I don't think we can quite comprehend what that means, if that makes sense.
So, sorry, what was your name again? Ramon, you want me to call you by, right?
Yeah, you can call me Ramon, yeah.
So, Ramon, when you talk about the rock, so that is something that we would call a paradox or something illogical.
A contradiction.
Or a contradiction, if you will. So, the problem with the rock is that if we hold that God is all-powerful, then there should be nothing that can supersede his power. However, what do we hold about God that means that he cannot have a son?
Well, he's not a physical being like me and you, right? Like
Is
me
that
and
the
you are
only
bound.
way you can have a son?
Well, I'm just giving one example, right? That he's not a physical being like me and you, where he's bound to a time or place, or he has an organ that he depends on, right? So that's a big factor in play here. So by saying so that I'll say that's one point.
So can Allah have a son in a manner that doesn't need an organ?
But that depends on what you mean by son, right? Because when we talk about son, we talk about human wife, and then them doing a certain act and then reproducing, right? So when you say God has a son, what does son mean in that context?
So for example, the Son of God in this context would be an internal procession from God, something that proceeds from God eternally, that isn't made, that is uncreated. But that thing that proceeds has intellect and a will, and so it can be called a distinct person from Allah. But because it comes from Allah, it is His Son, because Allah is the unprincipled principle. So all those things sound very possible to me without in any way negating what we know about Allah. So why isn't that a possibility for Allah?
Because he says so in the Quran. He says that he doesn't have a son, he has no partner.
Right,
That's
but
101
why
of
is that not
Tawheed,
a
basically, right?
possibility? Why is that not a possibility? So we talked about the rock, right? You compared the sun to the rock, and I told you why the rock is a paradox. But why is the sun a paradox? We've eliminated the need for an organ, and we've talked about a sun through eternal procession. So
Yeah,
why
but the
is that
Quran
impossible
doesn't.
for
Yeah,
Allah?
but in the Quran, because I'm a Muslim, right? So the Quran is essentially hujjah for us, and that he makes it clear in the Quran that he doesn't have a partner, he doesn't have a son or daughter or anything like that. So for that reason, he can't have one because he
So
told us.
So he
engage
can't.
with me.
Yeah, he
Engage
can't
with
have
me. Oh,
one
sorry.
because he. So yeah, he doesn't. He can't have one because he doesn't have one.
He doesn't or can't,
That's
right?
where I'm at. We're talking about can he or cannot. You're saying that he does not. Just because he doesn't have a son doesn't eliminate his ability to have a son, right?
Yeah, but then it's like again, it's just I don't understand how this question differs from the paradox one about the rock, really.
Because
Go ahead.
so I'll repeat it again for you, Ahmed. There is nothing that we know about Allah that makes it impossible or incoherent / illogical if He had a son. If Allah has a son, that in no way would go against any of the attributes that we know that Allah has. However, if Allah made a rock so heavy that He could not lift it, that would directly go against Allah's omnipotence, because He has created an object that supersedes His power.
But him having a son
Do
also
we
goes against his
understand?
essence.
Do we understand that so far?
I understand what
Okay.
he's saying, but I don't agree with it.
And secondly, we agreed that the son does not come from any organ, but the son comes from internal procession. Okay.
Yeah, this eternal procession that you're referring to is a Christian mindset, not an
Well,
Islamic mindset. So that's what I don't understand.
wait a second. Wait a second. It doesn't have to be just a Christian mindset, because there are many non-Christians, for example, like even Greek Platonists, that held to a similar idea of these processions from God, right?
Okay, so let me
So
rephrase that. What I mean to say is when
one second, I mean, 1 second. Let me drive somewhere, right? So again, my question to you still remains: what is it about Allah having a son that is paradoxical in the way that it would be if Allah made a rock that He couldn't lift? And don't tell me that the Quran doesn't say so, because you were very quick to admit that if Allah made a rock so heavy He couldn't lift it, it would be wrong, despite the Quran never saying that.
I didn't say it'd be wrong. I'll just say it's a very deep philosophical discussion, a paradox which I don't think I'm equipped to deal with, right? Again, people have written loads of books and volumes on it. It's a very deep discussion, and it's very mind-boggling. But I don't understand how essentially this. Going back to the question about can he have a son or can't he? in the Quran, he clearly states he doesn't, right? I
We're
don't
not
know if he says
asking.
he can't.
We're not
I don't know.
asking if he. Yeah, we're not asking if he does. We know the Quran says he doesn't. I'm asking, can he, man? Can he have a son? if he wants?
Hypothetically.
Okay, but you have to define what that means. What does it mean for him to have? I don't get it. You mentioned a pre-essence. What does that mean again? You define it for me.
So like an emanation from God. So think about, for example, the way your thoughts emanate from you, right?
Yeah.
Like they come from you, right? And then in a sense they are distinct from you. For example, your thoughts are non-physical, but you are physical, right? So imagine the same sort of concept, but for God, who is a non-physical being. He also has an emanation, the emanation of his wisdom, which we call the word of God, the Logos. So that is one way in which Allah could have a son, because Allah has wisdom. We would both agree. And then the wisdom of Allah, well, ideally should be distinct from Allah, because there's a distinction between the person who has knowledge and what is known. It's not identical.
Yeah. It seems to me that if you're looking at obviously from a non-Islamic paradigm where you're saying, I think what you're trying to get at is if Jesus was the Son of God, that's possible simply because he's a physical being and he's got God's wisdom in him, right?
You don't seem to be getting it. So I'll just say one last thing and then give it back to logic. What I've done for you, Ahmed, is lay out for you a possible way that Allah can have a son that doesn't require an organ. That's all. So if there's a possible way, so I think this is the main problem. If there's a possible way that human beings can conceive of where Allah can have a son, but Allah himself doesn't know this, then can we truly say that Allah is all-knowing?
Yeah, to be honest, there's too many factors at play here. You know, there's too many. He is all-knowing. You know, he says he's all-knowing. I believe it. But this concept of him having a son, again, it's not clear to me what that means. I know it's easy for you to define that because obviously you're looking at things from a non-Islamic paradigm. But from me, which is the Quran as a hujjah upon me, I can't comprehend that fact or that concept.
Can you do it?
Can you do it?
Yeah.
Again, can you have a son?
That is the question.
It's like, again, it's a paradox. He says he,
Can you know,
it's like saying, okay, how about this? Can he send a prophet to hell?
Yes, he can.
He can?
Yeah.
But he won't, you're saying, right?
Yeah, he won't, but he can.
So he's saying he can do anything, but he can do that, but he essentially won't do it.
He can do anything that's logically possible, man.
So
Ahmed, it's logically possible for a prophet to go to hell. Just because you are a prophet doesn't mean you're guaranteed heaven.
Right.
Well, again, according to the Quranic paradigm, where does it say prophet can go hell?
I mean, according to the Islamic paradigm, Muhammad didn't know where he would go. So according to Muhammad, it was even possible for him to go to hell. He didn't know.
And technically, Muhammad did go to hell at one point and identified that it was full of women. So, you know.
That's probably a hadith or something, right?
Yeah.
Hadith. It says he went to hell or he's seen it.
I guess when I say go to hell, I mean stay in hell and essentially receive the.
It's okay, bro. From that. So we know that a prophet can logically go to hell. We know that. So I ask again.
Wait. Just because the prophet didn't know where he's going,
can Allah have a son?
Doesn't mean he's going to hell, right?
Correct.
How does that imply he's going to hell if he doesn't know where he's going?
It means that it's possible. I don't know what my Lord will do with me or you. That means he's implying that it's possible that he will go to hellfire.
No, it's just his way of saying he has no clue about what God's will is at the end, and he doesn't.
So it's possible. So it's possible for God's will to be that he goes to hellfire, right? According to that
No,
statement.
but this goes against his essence of being just. If you got a prophet like Muhammad who's, clean and pure, he won't send him to hell.
No,
right?
no, that's not true at all. He creates people for hell before they're in their father's loins, man.
Okay, no, that goes against his essence.
No, well, I guess that Muhammad's saying that Allah goes against his essence, and because that's what Muhammad said.
Okay,
Muhammad,
okay, yeah, but again,
you get it. Muhammad said that Allah created people for hell while they were in their father's loins, before they did or thought, said anything. Allah already predestined them for hell, created them for hell.
Yeah, this concept again about predestination, right? I don't believe that we're predestined to go hell or heaven.
That's not predestination. It's preordained. This is where you're gonna go. It's preordained.
Yeah, so God knows where we're going to go, but him having that knowledge doesn't change where we're going to go, for example.
Yeah, is there a difference between there's a difference between having foreknowledge and then being the cause of a destination?
Yes, but he's not the cause for it.
It says that Allah created you for hell or created some for paradise. So he's the cause of where they go. Not just that he knows it. He created them for a particular destination.
But in the Quran, it's also very clear ayah that tell us if you do good, you're going to go heaven, and if you do bad, you're going to go hell.
No, the Quran is also clear that you only do good if Allah wills for you to do good.
Okay, so you've got your phone on you right now, right?
Yeah, you want me to pull up the verses?
No, I'm saying that if you were to use your phone now to basically make a donation of £10 to charity, is that you doing it or is that God?
So, according to Islamic paradigm, that's Allah forcing me to do it.
Yep.
Okay, now here's the thing, right? Yeah, no, here's the thing, right?
Hold on. We gotta.
This is quite interesting, right? And you can bring up the ayahs, yeah, but just 1 second. What I'm saying is clearly.
Allah gave me space, Allahu Akbar.
You like that, Ramon?
All right, like I was saying, right? Like I was saying, that if, for example, you take out your phone and make a donation to charity, that's empirical evidence that I've just shown you that you are in control of your actions, right?
So, I mean, what you just did is you just showed how Islam is false for teaching that it's outside of reality. It's going against reality by saying that it's not your choice to give to charity, but it's Allah who made you choose to give to charity. Right. You see how what your theology doesn't match with reality. That's why Islam is false.
So when the Quran does it say that, I'm basing my claim on the Quran, right? So the Quran clearly says those who do good deeds will go heaven. Those who do bad deeds will go hell.
Yeah. Yeah, look.
Yeah, but that doesn't negate the fact that he's literally playing puppet master. He's just telling you those who do good will go to heaven and those who do bad will go to hell. But he's actually he's the one who's doing that. The ones who do good is by Allah's will. The one who does bad is by Allah's will. That's what we're saying. So you're not really pushing back on anything we're saying.
Yeah, look. I got a few verses up here, man. I got everybody can use my article I wrote on this.
Get him before they get took down. Everybody download them.
Everybody download my article that I wrote on this.
We don't know how long they're gonna be up there.
You know, I was using an old name by Sam Shimon back then, but you know, I forgot to change my name. But it's an old article. It's an old article.
No, that's a biased website, man. You know you can't pull it up.
Oh yeah, man. It's Quran verses, man. It's Quran verses, man. There's nothing you can do about it.
From a biased website.
That's in English, man. That ain't no Quran. That's in English. The Quran's only in Arabic, man.
All right, everybody, check my articles out. My name used to go by Sam Shimon, but you know that's back in like 2002. So here's the article. But now look, bro, look. So it says, which verse we want to look at? Which one? Let's do. Wait. Oh, I lost the other one. Hold on. Oh yeah, here it is. Let's do 81 to 81. Surah 81, verse 28 to 29. It says, to whomever among you who wills to walk straight, right? So you will, by your own free will, walk the straight path, right? It's your will, right? To whoever among you who wills to walk the straight path, and you will not unless it be that Allah wills.
Wow.
The Lord of the world.
Whoa.
So
Yeah,
you
so
can't.
you take that. So you're taking that literally, right?
But I mean, that's what it
Uh-huh.
says. You can't will to walk the straight path unless Allah wills for you to will to walk the
Yes,
straight path.
but yeah, so you're taking that literally, right? That's what you're doing.
What is that? What else was supposed to take
But
it?
even
No,
if we took
because
it
there are ayahs in the Quran
metaphorically,
which say that God has like a hand and feet as well, but I don't take that literally. So right? So I don't take those ayahs literally. Like this, if you read this literally as you read it, I get it. That is the conclusion you would come to.
Wait a
But
minute.
I'm
So
not.
wait a minute. So
Let him land.
If,
Let him land.
yeah, go
Let him
ahead.
land. Did you finish your point? I want to make sure you get it out.
Yeah. So basically, that was my point. Yeah, that I'm not taking this ayah literally as it stands. But if you take it literally, then you'll reach the conclusion you did, because that's what it said literally. Yeah.
Quick question: if Allah says it is He who wills if you enter paradise, are you taking that literal?
Yeah, because He decides who goes to paradise.
Okay. Now, if He says He wills if you walk on the straight path, are you taking that literal?
No. The reason I say that is because I'm my own person. The good deeds I do, I make those good deeds. No one's pulling strings.
So Ahmed, look, I know what you're saying. So then you have to reject the Quran because, look, I am with you that you pull your own strings, that you do what you freely decide to do. The Quran, however, says otherwise, and therefore is out of touch with reality. It's going against reality. So it's false.
Yeah, so if you interpret it that way, then yes. It depends on how you interpret it, right?
There's no other way to interpret it. It's either Allah wills for you to will to be on the straight path, or He doesn't. It's what the verse says. It goes.
Okay, well, so then how would you interpret the ayah that say, well, God's got hands and feet? Now, if you ask me, do I take that literally? I'll say no, right?
That's fine. That's on you.
But no, but then you can use the same argument here and say, well, it said He's got hands or feet, so obviously He's got hands and feet now, right?
Well, yes. Look, it's like this. The context tells you whether something can be figurative or whether something can be literal, right? You have context where Allah has like His hands, it expresses His hands by His power. There's some verses that express it like that. There's other verses that do not have that context that expresses His hands, like Adam being created with his hands, by his own hands and stuff like that. And doesn't use it in the makes the way that Adam was created different from how everything else was created in creation. So obviously Allah uses everything for His power, but specifically He made Adam with His hands. So there's a distinction there, right? So context will tell you whether something is figurative or literal. Where in the context are you getting that when Allah wills that you will to be on the straight path, that it's figurative?
Well, we've got empirical evidence all around us, right? There's the same example I gave you, right?
Wait, stop. You can't use, I don't mean to cut you off, but you cannot use reality to justify the Quran. The Quran has to line up with reality, not you fix the reality. You're literally showing how the Quran contradicts what we know about reality. You get what I'm saying?
I can see where you're coming from, because I see the angle you're coming from. Yeah, if you take it literally, then it will mean that. But essentially, there's no way around it but the way that I've explained it. So I have to reinterpret it that way, for it to not to be literally.
You can't though. You can't. No, notice what you have to do. You have to reinterpret the verse so that the Quran wouldn't be false, so that it wouldn't go against reality. But if you just let the Quran speak for itself, you can clearly see that it's false and goes against reality.
Okay, well, you do know there are ayahs in the Quran which God has mentioned. Some are clear and some are unclear, right?
So is this unclear to you?
Yes, this is very deep discussion we're having. It's not that.
I didn't ask if it's deep. Is it unclear? Oh, let me ask you this: when it says "to whoever among you who wills to walk straight," is that unclear? What it says, that it's talking about whoever chooses to walk the straight path? Is that
no?
Clear
That bit's fine. That bit's fine. Nope, I don't have an issue with that.
You don't wait. I didn't ask if you have an issue with it. Is it
okay,
clear?
That bit's clear. That bit is clear. It's the next bit which is unclear.
All right. And you will not, so you won't walk the straight path unless that Allah wills for you to walk the straight path. Is that clear or unclear?
That is unclear.
Let's see really quick, because he just exposed himself. He said, I don't have an issue with that. So you have an issue with the other half of the verse. So we do understand. What do you understand by walk the straight path? For the first half, you have no issue with. What does it mean when he says, and whoever amongst you wills to walk the straight path? Quickly tell me, what does that mean?
To whomever among you who wills to walk the straight path. I mean, whoever one of us humans want to walk the right path, right? The path of
What do you mean
righteousness
by
and
walk the right path?
the path that God laid out for us in the Quran about doing good and not doing bad.
Great, thank you. Now the other half says, and you will not unless. What do you understand by that? And you will not unless, just right there. And you will not unless. What do you understand by that?
I can see the road you're trying to take me down, where you're trying to literally get me to interpret every part of the sentence, right?
No,
but
I'm
like
just trying to get you.
I'm not taking it literally.
You understand what does that mean? If someone says, and you will not unless, what's going on here? What's about to happen?
Guys, I know what you're going to do. If I read the sentence as it is, literally, I'm going to end up in the same boat you are. But I'm not going down that road.
So you're avoiding the logical conclusion.
I'm avoiding the literal conclusion.
Just answer the question then. When it says,
he just admitted it. He's avoiding the literal conclusion.
Yeah, so maybe there's
the literal conclusion.
So maybe there's a figurative one. When it says, and you will not unless, what does that mean?
Unless you yourself try and struggle to find the right path, you won't be guided.
Oh, okay. And then when it says, unless that Allah wills, what does it mean? Unless that Allah wills. So you won't.
I mean, if you're struggling to find the right path, then it will be God's will, and He'll guide you to the right path.
Okay, so if so, you can only walk the straight path if Allah wills for you to walk the straight path, right? If He guides you.
You can walk the right path if you actively search for the truth. But then you need to do that on your end, and then God will do the other half for you.
Does it say that here?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. I'm not taking it literally. That's what I already said in the beginning, right?
So no, it's not. It's not even that you're not taking it literally.
Wow.
You're literally distorting the verse. You're adding to it and distorting what the verse says. You can see. Do you see how you have to do that with the Quran in order for it to be okay for you? In order for you have to make the Quran fit what you believe and think to avoid the Quran being wrong. You don't think there's a problem?
No, there are some ayahs which we have to reinterpret. I'm not denying that. That's fine.
Wow.
Bid'ah!
There are some ayats where you have to reinterpret.
Bid'ah! Innovator!
Whoa!
Innovator! Bid'ah!
Whoa, relax.
Wow.
Relax.
Bid'ah! Bid'ah! Innovator! Innovator! Bid'ah!
Oh wait, no, you got bro. No, take one of them off. You gotta take one of them off, bro, and hit him with it. Hit him with it.
Bid'ah! Innovator! 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 Bid'ah!
Oh, oh man.
Yo,
Dude.
Ahmed. I am picking up some things. Ahmed, you're not a traditional Sunni Muslim, are you?
No, I actually used to be Shia.
Okay.
He innovated his way out of that.
And what are you now, Ahmadi, or just like your own interesting sects of Islam?
Yeah, so basically the Quran says not to split into sects, so I don't identify as any sect.
Okay, so Ahmed, why did you come up here? Just out of curiosity, like what was it you were trying to do? Just engage or answer something or ask a question?
To engage with you lot, ask some questions, just have a conversation. Really, I've seen some of your episodes before. Some of them you guys go a bit over the top, but sometimes you actually have some decent conversations, right? So I thought I'd just chip in my 5 pence, really.
What would you rate this one? Is this one of those ones that's over the top, or is this one of those good ones?
Nah, to be honest, like I know some people might take it personally, but I'm not like that. You guys have your own laugh every now and then. I get it, but hey, we're all trying to find the truth, right? So you know,
I can't find the truth unless Allah wills it.
Right. We got to be able to interpret something, man. You can't pick apart one sentence. That's the smallest sentence that I've ever seen, man.
All right, so let me ask you guys a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that the Bible's preserved?
Sure.
I thought you was gonna ask us something on the topic. Lord have mercy.
He innovated his way
Sure,
out of the question.
sure, Ahmed, sure.
Yes or no? Right?
Sure, yeah, sure, it is, yeah.
So is the same Bible that we had when Prophet Isa walked amongst us?
What does this have to do with the question?
Sure.
And the subject.
Oh no, it doesn't. I was just wondering if I could ask my own question.
Sure.
Absolutely not. That's not. I have an
Oh.
OCD about this.
Okay.
I have OCD. I am like physically unable to move on to a different topic when one is unfinished, when one has not honestly concluded something. I can't move on. I just can't. Like, because if we go and I start giving you Bible and answering these questions, you are already dishonest with your own. How can I trust you to be honest when I'm answering you questions and giving you explanations? That would just be a waste of my time if you can't be honest with your own text.
Listen, we can agree to disagree sometimes. It's part of human nature. It's not
This
a big,
isn't really
big deal.
agreeing
But
to
if you feel
disagree,
like,
though,
but if you feel like you can't move on, then I get it.
But
And in that case,
this isn't agreeing to disagree. This is literally you admitting you don't want to see the literal conclusion from your own words. You don't want to see the literal conclusion for what it is. This is what you told us.
But I agree with what you just said. I'm not taking the literal meaning of that ayah. Yes,
okay,
I agree with you.
Take 20 seconds to reinterpret it the way you want it. Let me hear it. I just want to hear what you got to say.
I'll answer it for him.
No. Go ahead. No, Ahmed, I want to hear 20 seconds. Make it quick and short because the verse is really short. What do you see in this verse? Please make it quick.
He's not learned on the subject. That's the problem.
Please stop trying to save him. Just Ahmed, can you say something really quick? Just 20 seconds on what you understand on the verse. We don't confuse us with, I don't know, I can't say anything, I don't know, it just seems a little too philosophical, it's too deep.
I didn't say that about this ayah. I said that about the paradox question. So what I'm saying about this ayah in 20 seconds is simply those who are willing to find the truth and struggle to find the truth, God will lead them to the truth.
Okay, doesn't say that though. That's the point.
What is it? What is it? What about the part where it says, "And you will not"? You will not what? You'll not find the truth, right?
Yeah, because if you're not trying to actively search the truth for yourself, God won't lead you to the truth.
No, wait, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say unless you try to find it for yourself. It says,
but I'm not taking it literally. Listen, the other gentleman next to you asked me what I took from the ayah, right?
It's not literal.
I told you what I take from the ayah, but like I said, we have to agree to disagree, right? I mean, fair enough.
All right. Well, I will say that I did love your personality, man. You was able to laugh with us. I can always appreciate somebody like that. You can come back again.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later, mate.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
See you, man.
All right. That was Ramon. All right. Salman, right?
Salman. What's happening, boys?
Salman. No, nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you.
He said he can answer it.
Well, if you're talking about the question on determinism, I want to know whether you guys, if you're taking a position of a theist or an atheist, because this isn't an issue that's unique to Muslims or Jews.
Well, first we need to get an understanding of the verse. Can you establish your understanding of that verse before we?
You're talking about when Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is saying, "And you don't will unless Allah wills."
Yes.
Is that still the topic?
Yeah. So the verse says, The verse says, you believe that you have free will, right, to believe, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so the
But
Quran.
I just first want to establish. I want to be sure because I've come into a Christian stream. I'm assuming you guys.
We're theists, bro. We're arguing from theists.
Fantastic. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
everybody's Christian.
let's all, inshallah, we're all going to follow the implications of any of these beliefs and see if they apply to Christians as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We cannot make an argument that would backfire. That would be inconsistent and dishonest of us.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
Absolutely. All right. So it says here, chapter 81, verse 28 and 29. To whomsoever among you who wills to walk straight, so they want to walk straight. All right. And you will not unless that Allah wills. Lord of the world.
The word walk is not in there. Yastaqim means to be right upon the right, upon or straightforwardness.
Yeah, so you freely want to be on the straight path.
The right.
You want to be on the straight path, right? You want to be on the straight path, but you will not be on the straight path unless Allah wills that you're on the straight path.
It's the same verse you were discussing earlier. So
right.
Our position, as you well know, right, is one of compatibilism, as is, many other theistic, religions. And you guys, I'm assuming, are not Calvinists. So you're not people who believe in hard determinism, are also compatibilists as well, correct?
No. Can you tell me what compatibilism is?
So compatibilism is the belief that God ultimately, right, wills everything into existence, including our actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And knows the outcome of our actions.
So
but because by virtue of the fact that he is all knowing and all powerful, and he doesn't compromise in any of those essential attributes, right? You guys agree with that, right?
No. So
you don't. Hold on. Let me.
Wait. Solomon, let's break down what you do. Relax. Calm down. We gotta dissect what you just said.
No problem.
You said that you believe that compatibilism is the idea that God created even our actions?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if he created your actions, did you choose your actions or did God choose them for you?
I chose those actions.
How so then Allah didn't create those actions?
No. God created the actions. If you let me finish, God created the actions. God is aware of the outcome of those actions. God is aware of all the possible existences and actions there are, right? But I still choose them. The mechanism, however, by which that is possible, right? The mechanism is not known to us because by virtue of our existence, by necessity, we are limited beings.
Brother, you don't gotta make it that deep, bro. You're just trying to say Allah gives you free will to choose.
No.
So
hold on.
Salman.
Hold on. I was explaining.
Makes no sense, dog.
I was explaining.
I understand your position, Salman.
Why are you guys cutting me off?
Salman, you've been speaking for a minute, bro. You gotta you landed.
I understand your position, Salman, but now here's the problem, Salman. Did Allah create the action of cannibalism?
Yes.
Why would Allah create the action of cannibalism?
Why he did? That's in his infinite wisdom. Why he did?
Is cannibalism good?
Cannibalism has not been ordained by God, right?
But he made the action.
Is it good?
No, absolutely. But the point is, right?
Is cannibalism good?
This is the problem with his position.
Is cannibalism good?
I can't answer if you're going to keep interrupting.
But you're not answering him.
Are you going to let me speak?
Yeah, as long as you answer him directly, you're able to speak here. As long as you answer directly and then expound, perfectly fine. Don't spend your time not answering the question, though.
I've already stated that the mechanism by which we...
That's not the question. Is cannibalism good?
I didn't say it's good. I said
that's what he asked you. Is it good or not?
No,
and
it's not good. No.
Okay.
So
he asked that for a reason.
That's not inconsistent with our theology.
So,
because
Salman, If
God
you give me
says in the
1
Quran,
second, sorry,
God
because you
says in
answered
the
my
Quran,
question.
He just want
God
to talk.
says in the Quran that
Okay,
He
go ahead and
creates
talk.
evil.
He just wants
Yeah?
to talk.
Min sharri ma khalaq.
Simon, he asked the question so that he can build on a point. We let you, for a very long time, break down what you think compatibilism is. Now we're dissecting it. Okay? So thank you for saying no, cannibalism is not good. What was the point that you were building off of that, Ibn?
So, Salman, thank you for just confirming that you even said the quote from the Quran that Allah creates evil. Now, Salman, if Allah is supposed to be a just, merciful God who is not evil, then how is Allah creating something that He does not have in His essence? So, for example, Allah is creating evil. Now, maybe you can jump to the Bible and say, well, your God does the same thing. But no, that's not the case because the word there is calamity, not evil. So if you are telling me
What's the
that
difference?
your God can create evil things, then how can your God be good?
What's the difference? Sorry, between calamity and evil.
So evil is the privation or lack thereof of good, which God does not possess because he is goodness itself. Calamity can just be misery or despair.
Okay, so are you
And
saying
God can rain that on people as a punishment. But with your position, Salman, Allah has randomly created acts like cannibalism, pedophilia, rape, randomly. And then now all of you have the option to opt into those created actions or not. But why would a good God make those in the first place?
hold on, these actions exist, correct? These actions that we're both discussing exist in the world, correct?
I'm saying that these actions are things that are wrought about by human beings because they themselves have been given the ability by God to be causes unto themselves. God has no part in the evil actions that people engage in, but in your case, he does.
No, hold on. Actions, whether moral or immoral, right, are created things, correct?
Yes, sure. Actions are created. However, I don't believe that God creates the actions atemporally.
Hold on a second. Is God the maker of all things?
So God is the maker of all things in a remote sense, yes. But this is your problem. You're an occasionalist. That's the issue.
Hold on. What do you mean in the remote sense?
In the remote sense, so there are two concepts: remote and proximate. So remote, like a remote control, it can be far away from a device and control it. And proximate, like if you ever played a video game where you have proximity chat, you can hear somebody who's near you. So human beings are the proximate cause of our own actions. However, God is the remote cause of all existence. But that does not mean that God is then causing our actions in a proximate sense.
I've understood. No problem, my friend.
But you believe that Allah causes your actions in a proximate sense.
I understood.
Which is a problem.
Hold on. Is God of the evil of those actions?
You're going to have to describe that again because that makes no sense.
Whether he's remote or approximate, is God aware of the evil of those actions?
Sure, because they are lacking in goodness.
Okay, so if God is maximally good or ultimately or infinitely good in your description of God, why does he then not intervene in those actions?
Because God loves us and he allows us something called secondary causality, where because of his love for his creatures, he allows them to be causes unto themselves, as opposed to having them be on strings and controlling all their actions the way Allah does.
So do you understand the difference? So in your Quran, Allah says that you cannot be saved, you cannot even believe, even when you want to believe, you will to believe, unless Allah wills for you to believe. So you don't choose your belief, Allah chooses your belief.
No.
Yes, that's what he says.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said, whoever
chooses to disbelieve, then let him disbelieve, and whoever chooses to believe, then let him believe.
And it's by Allah's will that they believe or disbelieve.
No, in Surah Al-Kahf, it doesn't say. It says, whoever
Look.
chooses, then let him disbelieve. Whoever choosing, then
Look,
let him-
look, I got you. Look, chapter 10, verse 99 to 100. And if your Lord willed,
chapter 8.
all
Go to chapter 8.
hold on. I'm showing you. Look, I understand. You have verses that seemingly tell you that you have the freedom to believe, but you look in the entire context of the Quran, it tells you that your will to believe comes from Allah's will for you to will to believe. That's the point.
I never denied that. The point is the holistic reading of the, likewise the holistic reading of or any theistic text, right?
No, this isn't any theistic text. This is this text.
You have to ultimately find the source of all things through the Creator. If you don't, right?
Not your choice.
If you don't, you are compromising the providence of the Creator, the omnipotence of the Creator by saying.
No, it has nothing to do with the omnipotence of the Creator at all.
So
him knowing what you're gonna do and him causing what you do, those are two different things. This isn't just saying that Allah is aware that you will believe or disbelieve. It literally says that you cannot believe unless by Allah's permission.
I haven't denied.
Okay, good. So look, this is what it says here.
My point.
No, I'm about to read the verse. You keep cutting me off.
Over your head
I'm gonna mute you if you keep talking over me, bro. Please mute up while I read the verse.
You're repeating yourself.
Well, okay, good. Let me repeat
as
the
are
verse.
you, Salman.
Yeah, let me repeat the verse. Here we go. It says, "Verily, there is an admonition. So whosoever wills." Sounds like free will, doesn't it, Ibn Dawood?
You've already
sounds like it.
Whoever wills, right? Like
sounds like it.
So whoever wills, let him take a path to his Lord. So let whoever wants to choose the straight path of the Lord. But guess what?
Wow.
But you cannot will
Oh snap!
unless Allah wills.
Wow.
Okay.
You cannot will to take the straight path unless Allah wills for you to will to take the straight path. He is literally choosing your choice.
Okay. So have I denied that?
Yes.
Yeah, you
no,
did.
I haven't.
No,
yes, you've denied that the whole time.
Have I denied that? I've confirmed
if I can
that
be
multiple times. I've confirmed this verse.
If I can be honest, guys, if I can be honest, he's leaned into it twice. I'll be honest, he has. However, by leaning into it, he's effectively making Allah no different from, for example, the Greek gods, who just play with the fates of human beings for their own pleasure. So Allah is not maximally good, because many people commit many horrendous deeds and evil actions, and it appears that Allah is the actual cause of all those things. So why is Allah just not only watching us suffer, but actually taking a active role in causing our suffering?
I can literally ask you the exact same thing.
And then my answer to you is that God does not take an active role in our suffering. We are the causes of our own suffering.
So where does it come from?
Our actions.
Are you saying?
So
Salman,
I've given you the answer, Salman. We are the cause. We are the cause of our own actions and misdeeds, Salman. But Allah is the cause of yours. So how can Allah be good?
Let me finish, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, how is he good if he's the one willing your disbelief?
If God is omnipotent, is there anything within the heavens and the earth, the cosmos?
You're changing the question now.
No, it's fine. I'm not gonna let him do it anyway.
Let me finish. If God is,
so it's either this, man. It's either you deal with this stuff directly, or you just gotta go, dog.
Why you're not letting me speak? Obviously, you guys understand you're in a quagmire as well. This is
not
a problem.
No, he answered you. He answered you on our position. You have no answer for yours.
You haven't. All you've said is God.
So you admit that Allah's the one who chooses you to believe, and who chooses who doesn't believe, right?
You've said God does not. You haven't explained.
You admit it. Take care, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Just to summarize his point, so this is actually a problem that many Muslims have. It's called one of two things. I call it fatalism, because that's what it literally is. Allah has sealed your fate before He even creates you. So you actually have no control over any of the actions, good or evil, that you do. Because what a lot of Muslims do is they deny something that the Catholics will call secondary causality. So, yes, in Christendom, God is the primary cause of everything. God makes our reality and makes all the laws that govern our reality. Amazing. However,
Amazing.
God also loves his creatures, us. So instead of God having us on strings 24/7, God allows us to be causes unto ourselves. So when we choose to do good, yes, we can do good with the grace of God, but people can also do good independently of that without subscribing even to the Christian faith. And when we do bad, God is not the one causing us to do bad. We are freely choosing to do so. But for them, whether it be good, whether it be bad, there's only actually ever one real cause, and that's Allah.
Yep. All right. We got somebody who claims to be a Muslim on the stage. Amin, the king, what's up?
What's up, boys?
What's up? What's up, man? You believe that
Hey,
Allah gives you free will, man?
listen. Before I answer this, I was trying to get in like a couple days ago when you were speaking with Jonah, I guess,
Hmm.
about saying adultery is on Islam and this and that. I couldn't get in. I was, so eager to get in.
Well,
Well, you're here now.
You're in now.
All
You're in now.
right, can we talk about it?
Oh no, we're on something specific here. We're on something specific here. Do you believe that you have free will as a Muslim?
Yes, you have free will, and at the same time, you choose. Allah is giving you uh, the free will to choose at the same time.
I got you. Would
Okay, but I really want to speak with you about adultery because
I know what
you
I know
said
what you want.
adultery is
We're gonna
in.
go ahead and finish. I mean, we're gonna
Because I
finish
could
this
show you
subject.
adultery
Hey,
in your
Amin,
religion.
Amin,
Yeah,
relax. We're
I'm
gonna deal
very
with this subject.
relaxed, man.
Okay, good. So we're
I'm
gonna
very
deal with this
relaxed.
subject, and then I have no problem going to the adultery one. Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Fair enough. Good. So you're saying that you have free will in Islam as a Muslim, and you can choose and all this kind of good stuff. Would it be unfair if you didn't have free will and God sent you to hell?
God will not send you to hell. Your
I got
actions
you.
will send you to hell.
Good.
God
Now,
give you a free will, and the same time, let me explain.
yeah, that's not
The
what I
same
asked.
time,
Yes,
same
respectfully,
time, he give you a
respectfully.
choice,
That's not what I asked. That's not what I
to
asked.
choose your
So,
will.
God
I didn't
Logic,
ask that.
there's a hadith in the chat actually just for you on that topic.
Yes.
Regarding Allah sending to hell.
Yes.
Hadith, not all
So
hadith
hold on.
hadith.
Don't worry, Sahi.
So I mean, that's not what I asked. I asked, would it be just if Allah sent you to hell if you didn't have free will? If he made you do these actions, bad things, and then sent you to hell for what he made you do, would he be unjust for that?
Well, God will never be unjust, but since the way you're saying it, yeah, he will be unjust. But I don't believe that God will be unjust.
Okay.
But the way you interpreting, if somebody hears you, is gonna say, "Oh yeah, he's unjust."
Well,
God will never be unjust. If you are a
good.
believer,
I got you. So I'm glad we both agree that if God were to take away your free will and then make you do bad things, not by your will, but by his, and then send you to hell for that, punishing you for something you didn't freely do, but he made you do, that he would be unjust. I agree with that. But you don't believe that Allah does that, which is fine. I believe he does.
No, he doesn't. That's your
Yeah,
interpretation.
the Quran says he does.
That's your explanation of the Quran.
Well,
You
no,
have
it's
to
not.
understand that there is the Quran and there is the books of understanding the Quran.
I got you. Do you
On
think
each
can
verse,
you read this verse for me?
Listen, I don't have to read now the verse. I'm explaining you.
No, I don't
You are
respectfully. I don't want an
misunderstanding the
explanation.
Quran. You are
I don't want an
misunderstanding,
explanation.
and
I don't want an explanation. If you can't read the verse, I'll read it to you. If you don't want to listen to your Quran, you can bounce. So I'll unmute your mic and I'm gonna give you the chance to read your Quran, or tell me that out. Like, tell me to read it. I'll read it. I don't need your explanation. Read first, then explain to me what the verse says. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
All right. So please read this verse right here, 76:29-31.
You read it for me.
Okay, I'll read it for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verily, this is an admonition.
Can I ask you a favor?
That's
Can I
what
ask you?
Jabril should have told. That's what Muhammad should have told Jabril.
Can I ask
Now
you
you
a
read
favor?
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ikra. Now you read it.
No, you read it.
No, you
You
read
read
it.
it.
You can't read it, man. You can't.
All we do is read, man. That's all we do here.
You read it in English. Read it in Arabic. Hey, read it in Arabic.
Now read it in
Now
there.
read it in Arabic.
Yeah, can you? Can you?
Do you
It's
speak?
not-
Do you speak Arabic?
Yes, I do. It's not
Okay.
the same. Let
So
me
if I
tell
pull
you
up,
something.
all right, if I pull it up in Arabic, can you read it?
Of course. Let
All
me
right.
tell you something very
No, don't tell
important.
me anything. We'll just read.
Okay.
GL,
Okay.
if you could pull it up on Quran.com so we can even follow the Arabic ourselves by clicking on it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, of course. So you're gonna read the Arabic.
Wow, nah.
You don't understand Arabic and you're laughing.
Oh no, bro.
The Quran was sent down in Arabic. It was sent down in English.
I heard it was sent down in English.
No, that's your Bible.
English, man.
All right. So you can see it now. So go ahead and read the Arabic for us.
Yeah. إن هذه تذكرة فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه سبيلا.
All right. So, lo, this is an admonition that whoever will may choose a way unto his Lord. So it says you could choose, right?
Okay.
Okay. It says, okay. Verse 30. Yet.
No, you gotta let him read it. Let him read it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead and read the Arabic.
وما تشاءون إلا أن يشاء الله إن الله كان عليما حكيما.
So it says, yet you will not unless Allah wills. So you cannot choose unless Allah wills.
Wow.
Right?
What does it says there that you cannot choose?
And you will not except that Allah wills.
Because He's giving you a free will and a choice in your free will.
But hold on.
You don't understand
it says
the Quran.
you cannot choose. It says you're going to choose the straight path, right? You're going to choose the path to your Lord. But however, you cannot, you will not, unless Allah wills for you to choose the straight path.
Because Allah knows your intention. Are you
But,
want the
but
straight?
it just said that He's the one who decides your intention.
No. That's not this is the way you understand the Quran.
Is that what it says, or is that how I understand?
He said, if your intention, you want the straight path, Allah will help you to get the straight.
It doesn't say He'll help you to get it.
But this is the explanation, man. I'm telling you the
Is that what it
explanation
says,
of the
or
verse.
okay? I'm gonna test your honesty.
You take verses in account
I'm about to test your integrity right now. I'm about to test your integrity. Does it say that Allah, they cannot choose a path to their Lord unless Allah wills that they choose? Does it say that? Yes or no, man?
Not in the verse, but in the explanation of the verse.
Yo, what's up? Finally, thank you for letting me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
What's up, man?
Been waiting a while. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing all right. Thank you for letting me on. I appreciate that. All right. So, you want to stick to the topic, or can we also go to the crucifixion that you mentioned earlier? You want to just stick? You want to stick solely with determinism?
Yeah. Do you have free will to choose the path?
Yes, you have free will. In Islam, you have free will.
So
Absolutely.
when Allah says that you don't have free will, that He's the one who wills for you to will to be on the straight path, you still have free will?
The verse is not saying that you don't have free will. The verse is saying, let's pull up the verse. Thank you. Let's read it in English too. Let's not even go to the Arabic.
Okay, I like you.
Thank you. I like you too. Thank you.
All right, where am I at? You're supposed to help me.
All right, so like the last verse, for example.
This one right here.
All right, we can do that too.
Verily, this is an admonition. So whoever wills, let him take a path to his Lord.
Mhm.
But you cannot will unless Allah wills.
Yep.
So the only way that you can will, that you can choose to be on the path to your Lord, is if Allah wills for you to choose to be on the path to your Lord.
All right. Let me explain it to you with an analogy, right? All right.
Okay.
So if I will to, do you have an object near you?
I have my phone.
Plenty.
Okay, you have a phone, right? Okay. You just willed to pick up your phone, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now that is your will, okay?
Mhm.
And Allah has willed that phone to be picked up. Your action is being created. That action is willed by Allah. Now, if you want to will to lick your elbow, can you do that?
Mhm.
Can you lick your elbow? The answer is you can't, right? Because
can't.
Allah is, you can't lick your elbow. You can't.
I can't.
Lick your elbow then.
No, I'm about to lick my elbow on my stream.
You can't do that. It's impossible, right?
You're probably right. I've seen somebody do it though.
Is it impossible?
Really? All right, maybe different
Oh,
levels.
I can't do it.
Hey, wait.
I thought I
Somebody
could.
with a long tongue can do it though. Because
Yeah.
look,
So
Maybe.
halal, halal
Let
Romy,
me finish. Let me finish.
hold on, let me
Alright.
do it.
you're falling into the same trap as the other guy.
Let me finish. I appreciate that's what you think, but let me finish. Right?
Let
So
let,
if
let,
you-
him, let him land it, then we'll cook him.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You
Now
can
you
you
just
can
taught me something new, man.
you can quote unquote cook me after. Okay, so if you try to lick your elbow, that's your will, but Allah is not creating that action. That is an action that cannot be created. So the Islamic understanding is that your will, right, is not necessarily the determiner of the action. Every action is created. This is what the Islamic understanding is. This is what compatibilism, which I don't know if it was 2 speakers ago, was trying to explain, right?
don't listen.
That compatibilism
Just let you know
is
that.
when you have free will and your actions are determined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that sense. But
how's that free?
okay, no, I just explained it to you, right? So you have the will to pick up your phone, right? That action, right, is by your will, but it is created by Allah, that action. Now, your action to lick your elbow, that's your will, but it is not created by Allah. This is an example, right? So if you will to be on the straight path, the ultimate will, the ultimate determiner of that is Allah. So that doesn't mean that you don't have free will or that you don't have any choice at all, but that it means that Allah is the ultimate will in these actions and in this creation. I think that's a very clear-cut explanation. Please tell me your response. Thank you for letting me speak, by the way. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You just contradicted yourself. Hold on, we got somebody here that's licking the elbow.
There's a few problems with this.
Thank you. I think that's the only valid refutation you have to the argument.
Did Allah create this action?
Well,
He got to do full screen.
I found it crazy that Halal said that the action isn't created by Allah because it's
That's an amazing
impossible.
refutation, man. Thank you.
Well, first of all, yes. So, of course, someone can lick their elbow.
Sorry, Ibn Dawood, I can't see you right now because the screen. Can you repeat that?
It's
Sorry.
okay. You ain't gotta see me. You just gotta hear me. So, first of all, Halal, it's a horrible example to think that just because you think a certain action is impossible, like licking your elbow, therefore Allah does not create it. All right. So that's the first problem. But aside from that, people can lick their elbow. Just so you know, right? People can do all sorts of insane things with their bodies.
I think you get the point,
Now,
though, still.
well, I get the point, but I think it's hilarious that you put limits on Allah's creative power based upon what you know about the human body, which is awesome. But Halal,
That's not the argument.
well, that was one of your arguments. But
But
the
that
main
was not
problem
the
I have with you, Halal, is you have the same problem as the last guy. So again, I ask you, cannibalism.
Do
This
grape.
is an action. Grape. The worst kind you can think of.
Yeah,
right?
That's
This is an action that is possible for most human beings who are able-bodied. Why does this action? So this is even better. If previously in your conception Allah did not create the action of licking an elbow, why would Allah create the action of grape for humans?
Okay. So just like the previous person responded, but you didn't let him answer fully, is that it is because we have the same problem. We're both theists, right? So you believe. I'll tell you the difference. We have a difference.
We don't have that problem, sir.
So
let me finish. I'll let you finish.
Stop.
Okay, so I'll let you talk, but I'm not allowed to talk.
No. You can talk Halal, but
Okay,
let me be honest with you. When I raise an objection with Islam, and the first thing you can do is, well, you have the same problem. That's not how we argue, Halal.
No problem.
Defend
No
your
problem.
position, and then critique mine if you'd like.
Okay. Okay. How about you let me finish, and then after that you can critique my
As
argument.
long as you don't start with you have the same problem.
No, no, no. I will start
Because
with
we
that.
don't.
But let me explain why, and then you can respond. Right?
So
I let you
Halal,
speak.
Halal, before
Okay,
you even
Ibn
get
Dawood, I
there,
let you speak. You let me speak. We're doing a
you're
good thing, and
committing
then
a
you're now
fallacy. You're committing a fallacy, Halal.
Okay, then
It's
say that
going
after
to
I'm
go
done.
away.
Then say that.
So
Just give him a break. Hey, Halal, man, I'm gonna let you back up, man. But you gotta relax, dog. You gotta relax. Defend your position. Don't say you have the same problem. He asked you something directly, addressed you directly. Engage with the points that he said before trying to point the finger and say, "Oh, you have the same problem." So, are you admitting that you have a problem, or like tell us? Okay, so engage with the points he made.
Yeah, so no problem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows evil actions to happen. And this is an atheist objection called
Did he create those evil actions, bro?
By creating the people with the free will, he did indirectly, yes.
Did he
created these actions.
Did he create grape?
Yes, he did.
So Allah created grape.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, and
Another
let me
one.
explain. Let me explain too, right? If you ask me a question, I'm going to explain as well. Okay, so in our understanding, the human, for example, a sinful person, extremely sinful person, is willing to commit a sinful action of grape, right? He commits this action, okay? Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish this person because of his will, that action was created. Now, in the theistic understanding, your understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, right? Is that God commands a series of events to happen where a human being is created and then he rapes. But in your understanding, God does not stop this. Why? Because the human being has free will. Now,
Nobody
we both
asked
have
about why
different
it doesn't stop.
conceptions of this.
Nobody asked
Let
about
me
what.
finish.
Nobody
Let me
is
finish.
no. You're not addressing the issue.
I am
Nobody's
addressing the
asking
issue.
about why it doesn't stop.
I just addressed the
We're
issue
asking
first, and then
about. Hey,
finish your
shut,
position.
dude. Relax, man. Relax. We're not asking about why he doesn't stop it. We're asking about, did he create the action according to your worldview? And you said yes, he does. He creates the action, is the cause of the action. This is your worldview, not ours. We're not asking you why doesn't Allah stop it. You're saying he created all the actions, so he's responsible for the action of grape. He himself is. Not only that, he's also responsible for the person's will to grape, because that's what the Quran says. You cannot will to be on the straight path lest Allah wills for you to be on the straight path. He chooses your belief, your want, your choice. You haven't dealt with that yet.
All right, I will deal with it, and I'll answer it again. But I'll let you finish, and I appreciate that you've been doing that.
Halal. My question remains
Okay, then
unanswered.
repeat your question. Am I answering God's logic question or your
Why?
question?
¿Por qué? Nanda toe. Why? Why would he do this? What's the point? Like, what is the? For example, theists will talk about the idea of the telos, a purpose behind God's creation. If the action of grape is God's creation, what is the purpose behind it? Why would a good God create grape as an action?
God is not okay. So you're conflating two things. God is not raping, right? He's instead there's a will of the human being which is allowing
according to
that.
Surah 8:43, he might be, but we'll see about that.
Okay, see again, just now you're gonna misquote and take out of context another hadith. But here, let me answer God logic
You
question.
didn't kill him. Allah killed him. You didn't grape him.
That's
Allah
exactly
raped him.
not true at all. That is not the
see a
Islamic
difference.
understanding as I explained.
Yeah, what
earlier.
is the difference?
Okay, let me explain. Right.
Allah created the action. How is it not him doing it?
Okay, just like let me tell you this, right? Let me ask you this very straightforward. Did Allah create human beings?
You're not helping yourself. I wanted
No,
my
no, no.
question
Let me
answered,
answer my
please.
question. Did Allah create human beings?
No, because so far I asked you
I've
my
answered your question. You
and
haven't been satisfied with
made
my answer, but I've answered it very directly.
you did not answer why. You just said Allah does this activity. I'm asking you for the purpose behind the activity because it points to a God who is evil.
Yeah, why did Allah create grape?
Oh, you're acting like atheists. Yeah, Allah did not create.
No. We're acting like Christians who are opposing a false God. This is a false, inconsistent, counterfeit idea of God.
Because he allowed human beings to express their will.
Wait, but this isn't his. This is Allah's will. Why did He create grape? He wanted he wanted the human being to be able to express grape.
He's allowing them to express their will. Yes.
No, but why did He do? Why did He create grape?
I can ask you the exact same question.
No,
Literally
you
the exact
cannot.
same
because you don't
Again,
believe
How
it.
about,
you're
how about this?
running.
If you answer it, I'll
You're
answer it
still.
too. If you answer it, I'll
You're
answer it.
still running. Why did he create great, man?
If you man do it, I'll do it.
Because let me
Go
answer it
away,
again.
man.
Let me just answer
Go
it again,
away.
just for the record, so you
You've
don't say
never
I'm running.
answered it once.
So that human beings can express their own will.
That's
my
not an answer.
Wow. So he
So,
created. So he created.
And that's the same
the
exact
action
thing
of
for you.
great.
You're running away
no.
from your own position
What-
because
Okay.
that's
So
what
he,
Christians like to
he
do.
created
Like to
great.
attack the Islamic
So-
position.
He
so
created
and
great.
backfires on them.
So that,
Prevalent.
yeah, he created grape so that a human being who wills to commit grape can do it.
So,
And they're
He's
sinful.
like,
and they'll
I
be
got
punished.
you,
This life is
grapist.
a test.
I got you.
so guys,
You
don't
believe the
forget.
same thing? This is crazy.
Initially, Halal said that Allah has not created the action to lick your elbow. So, if
Yes.
Allah had not created the action to grape would not be possible. But Allah creates the action to grape. ¿Por qué? Why?
I just repeated it again because he is allowing humans to express their will. And let me finish as well. Let me continue on an answer so I can be more elaborate before you interrupt me. Okay? Is that
So he
in
created
your
action.
understanding, God is commanding and creating human beings with the knowledge that they will grape, yet he doesn't stop it. That is the exact same
Yeah,
thing.
No, you're
but-
saying that he's the cause of it.
Right, and
Or
you're
he is
saying
allowing
you're
it.
saying
He's
he's
allowing
no.
it. You believe he's the cause of it too.
Okay,
You believe
you
he's the
slow
cause of it
slow
too.
down
we
because
Indirectly or
you're not
directly.
slow down
No, we
because
don't.
you're not making sense of yourself. On one note, you're saying he created the action for the evil people to commit because he wanted to satisfy their needs. And then on
No, that is
another
not
note,
what I
you're
said
trying
at
to
all.
say
That is not what I said.
exactly. And
That's
then
a
on
straw
another
man.
note, that's what you're saying you're not saying. But that's exactly what you're saying, bro.
I did
It's
not say that
literally
at
what
all.
you're
We
saying.
can watch the
bro.
video. Let's see if
You said he created grape for those who will to grape. How could they will to grape if grape didn't exist?
that again. That he created them. It's the same thing you believe. It's the same exact thing you believe.
I don't believe that.
Do you believe grape
I
exists? Do you
do
believe grape
not
exists?
believe that God creates the action of grape. You
So
do.
he creates humans
Now,
to do
please
that.
justify why you believe this.
I feel like I'm talking to atheists. This is actually crazy.
Well,
Like,
you're talking to real theists.
You're talking
no,
to
I'm talking
theists
to
who
atheists.
don't
Really.
believe
I
in
mean,
an evil God.
here, let me quickly finish. Really
You're
quickly.
talking
You
to
believe-
theists who believe in the true God,
I'll
bro.
let you finish. All right,
You
believe.
you're talking
Halal,
to theists who believe in
I've
the true
asked you a
God.
question, and you
I've
keep
answered
telling me
it
what
4
I
times.
believe. But Halal, the answer you have given me is as follows. God creates grape for those who will to grape. However, Halal, you admitted before we started this conversation that it's absolutely possible for God to not create an action. So, for
Yes, it
example,
is
Halal,
possible for God to
I
not.
will to lick my elbow, but Allah won't create the action. Why couldn't He
Yes.
do that for those who will to grape?
Because Allah is testing all of those, so those people will be sinful and punished in the hellfire. No problem. It's like
I
wait. So
I
wait,
see.
let me ask you this.
So,
Let me ask you
so
this.
Allah,
Wait, can I
wait,
finish?
Halal,
No.
Halal.
I let
The
you
answer is
rambled on for a
different this
while and I
time.
let you finish.
Wait, Halal, 1 second. The answer is different this time.
Okay, I'll
So
let you
Halal,
finish again.
the answer now is that Allah, knowing that there are actions that are evil that will land you in hell, opts to create those actions to test you, as opposed
Based
to
on
not
your will.
having them
Based on your will.
being created at all.
Based on your will. That's what you're missing. Yes,
So
based on your will.
Allah is so arbitrary that I can will to the cows come home to lick my elbow, and I can't do it. But if God forbid I wanted to go and grape somebody, I could easily do it. Interesting.
Yeah, you believe
What-
God. Did God
what a
give you the
God.
ability to lick your elbow, Ibn
What a,
Dawood?
what a, what a God. What a
What a
God.
God.
So let me get this straight.
So you
God,
can
no,
choose.
let me finish.
so
You
you
talked
can-
for a while, Sheikh Lodge.
so you can choose to believe in Allah.
Very well. Let me finish. Okay.
Can you choose to
let me
believe in
answer
Allah?
Sheikh Dawood. It's a 2v1 right now. Let me answer
Yeah.
Dawood.
Can you choose
and
to
then let me
believe in
answer you.
Allah?
Okay, I'll answer Dawood and then you. Okay.
Can you choose
So
to believe
Dawood.
in Allah?
Okay, yeah, you've asked the question. Okay, I heard you first.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you choose to believe in Allah?
Yeah. So Dawood, you believe you criticize my position that God, right, has not allowed somebody to lick their elbow, but has allowed someone to grape. Yeah, in the same way that God has given.
Sorry, Halal. If all you can do is just do random straw man and two quotes, you claim to know what I believe, but you never actually asked me what I believe. We're Christians. We're not stupid. We don't believe that God creates the actions for us to go and do evil, because that in turn would mean that God is evil. But it's up to you. This is the ultimate problem. You guys are always so busy trying to prove how big and strong Allah is that you let Allah fall into ridiculousness because of how much you want him to be Superman. So yes, Allah is so powerful that his sheer presence, like conqueror's haki, just cannot allow us to even act on our own. He must be the cause of our actions and create those actions. But you don't realize that human beings are fallible and they do things that are frowned upon in the sight of Allah. Yet Allah is the creator of those things. Shirk, the unforgivable sin. Allah creates all shirky actions. So Allah is paradoxical. Allah's going against himself. He hates shirk, but creates shirk. So that you can do shirk, so that he will hate you for doing it.
Amazing.
A'udhu billah.
A'udhu billah, shaitan regime. We got technically halal homie's God did create grape because his God is the devil. See, you're not arguing against atheists, you're arguing against Christians. You're arguing against Christians who are calling out and exposing your false God, man. Thank you for admitting that your Allah is responsible for grape. He's the one who created that action to appease the will of those who want to carry it out.
But I love how they, I mean, we do this all the time. A Muslim says something, we say this is what they said, and they turn around and say they didn't.
I never said that.
I never said that. Exactly what he's like legitimately trying to tell us over and over and over again. The moment that I told him he's trying to tell us that, he says that's not what he's saying. I don't understand why he's doing that. Halal homie, are you saying that
if you want to stay, you gotta keep your camera on, bro?
Yeah. Are you saying
why?
Because you don't belong here. If you want to stay here, you got to keep your camera on.
Halal is way younger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he sounds super young.
Sorry, I don't know.
Hello, you got to turn your camera on, man. You tried to spam back into the back channel 4 times now.
All right,
so
man.
yeah, okay, thank you. Are you saying that Allah, and please just give me a couple yes or no's, and then I'll let you say whatever you want, all right? Because I really don't even want to engage with you because you're going in circles. Are you saying that Allah created the action? It's just a yes or no. Did he create the action of grape?
Created the action, but not because of the will. Yes. So he created it because of
remove the human's will to act on it. Did he create that action? Did he create grape?
I mean, like, you can't remove the human's will. Short answer is yes.
No, we'll put it in there in a second. We'll put it in there.
Sorry
We'll
to
put will in there in a
GL,
second.
Sig wants to get raised. I can go down if you want.
We'll put the will in there in a second. I just want to know, are you claiming that Allah created the action in itself? The ability to grape. Did he create the action in itself?
Yeah, God created the ability to murder, rape, and kill people. God created that ability. I think you believe that too. But
okay, so he created the action in itself. What it is to grape, your God created that. That's what he decided to create before creation was.
Because of the will. So the will is what led to
one second, because remember, this is what I accused you. 1 second. This is what I accused you of claiming for Allah, and you said you weren't. So let's establish before the world was different things that Allah has created. For example, good, evil, specific actions, following him, commandments, sins, etc. The transgression of his law. He created these things. He created what it means to be good, which is the reason why we have the establishment of rules and laws that we must follow in order to be good.
I agree. He did create what it means to be good.
Now, so we have the understanding that the absence of that is evil, correct?
Yep.
Grape is evil, correct?
Yep.
Okay, he created the action of grape just like he created the actions that will put you under the guidelines of being good, right?
Yeah, because of the will, of the human being.
Right. Now, not because of the will, these are just actions that he has created that will put you in either category, right?
What actions that he created? I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Dude, these are
I'm asking a general question.
Okay.
These are actions that will make you good or bad, right?
Yeah, so rape is sinful and you'll be punished.
Great. So he created
grape. My bad.
Right. So he created these actions that will put you in either category, i.e. being good or bad, right?
Yeah, sinful or not sinful, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then he gave us the free will to dabble in whatever action we want.
Yep.
So you're saying your God created grape.
The ability to choose to rape or not, yeah.
Goodness, I'm done.
I think that was a very straightforward answer. I think that was
How did I just walk you down the road of you explaining how your God created grape, and then you ran away from it after I tried to conclude with you?
No, he created grape because of the will. I keep repeating that, and you said like, "Oh, we'll move
It's
it."
not because of the will. It has nothing to do with the will. It has nothing to do with the will, bro. Has nothing to do with the will.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's giving you. Oh, he's giving you free will to do as you please. But you're saying he created the will. You're saying, oh, it's because of the. Oh, you close the string.
Yo, can you bring that verse back up? The one
He's
that you
saying
guys were
that you
talking about.
created the will, halal. That's what you're saying. Because of the will, he has created things that he willed the humans to do. I understand. I completely understand that, but it has nothing to do with because of the will. These are just actions that you're saying your God has created for us to pick and choose which ones we want to do. Okay. So when you say your God has created, wait 1 second. So when you say your God has created an evil action that we can do because he created it, you are now saying that your God is basically the devil. Your God is Satan, dude.
That is completely false.
So,
Okay,
halal.
so let me put it into
There's
perspective.
a back.
Can I respond to one person at a time? I prefer that. Because
Sure,
I'm
respond to
getting
me and
bored.
respond to me, and then I won't respond. I'll let one of the other brothers take it. Go ahead.
No problem. Thank you so much. Okay, so if God is creating an action because of a will, I'll tell you why it's different, and why fundamentally every single theist believes the same thing. And I'm going to explain the position first again, and then I'm going to explain that. Okay. And again, I let you talk, so I'd appreciate if you give me the same respect, Siana.
Yeah, that's cool. Like they
Right?
don't though.
Okay, yeah, that's great. You can say that, but let me explain first, right? Okay. So yes, I believe that God created the ability to do evil actions, right? And because of somebody's will, he creates those actions. Now, when Hitler committed the Holocaust and killed 6 million Jews, right? God, who created Hitler with the knowledge that he would do that, okay, is indirectly creating those things, right? So the theist, right, who believes that, oh yeah, so okay, did God create Hitler? Yes or no?
No, it sounds
No,
like you
answer my question. You've been answering. I've been answering.
Yeah,
Did God create Hitler?
flipping
Yes
the
or no?
position.
It's either he created the evil action that people commit, or he just created the people who will end up doing these evil actions. Which one is it?
Will end up. No, he created the people with knowledge that they would create these evil actions.
Did he create the action that they commit?
Yeah, did he create
because of the will?
No,
Due to the will?
did he create? Get out of
This
here.
dude keeps saying
Get out.
because of the will,
Get
bro.
out.
Get out of
Wait,
here.
Hold on. Can I say something?
Over.
I want to.
Yo, listen,
Okay,
can we go to Quran.com?
let me
Can we go to Quran.com?
let me add something very quickly to the way that he articulated. He changed his position very very slightly. I don't know if any of you guys caught it. He started adding this element of the actions are created not
Because of the will.
randomly by Allah, but because there is a will for those actions to be performed by Allah's creatures, aka us. Well, my question is this simple. I'm sure more of Allah's creatures will to lick their elbow than to grape. Because think about it, it's a cool party trick, right? Like I'm sure everyone here wants to lick their elbow, but none of us here want to grape.
Do it.
So why is Allah creating more instances of grape than instances of licking the elbow when arguably the will to lick the elbow is more numerous than the will to grape?
Yeah. I mean, this is just crazy because look, that's not even what he specifically believes. The tensed version of this will, like I was explaining to David, is, bro, the will, Allah commands something, and then his command overrides your free choice. So here, if you go to Jami' Tirmidhi, his chapters on predestination, Abdullah bin Mas'ud says, I'm butchering the Arabic, I don't really care. It says that the creation of one of you is gathered in his mother's womb for 40 days. Then for a similar period, he's a clot. Then from a similar period, he is a piece of flesh. Now, whether or not this is scientifically accurate, I could care less. Then Allah specifically sends the angel to him to blow and ensoul him. And then he is ordered to write 4 things. So these 4 things are very important. His provision, okay? His lifespan, how long he's going to live, his works, the literal actions he does, and whether he will be wretched or happy. Wretched or happy is heaven or hell. Okay? Now, why are these two important? Because Allah has already pre-written temporally the actions you're going to do. So it's not like Allah is outside of time, outside of the strip of time, just, sustaining everything. That's what we call providence. Here, Allah is tensely creating a set of actions that you have to do. He says, by the one besides whom there is none worthy of worship, one person, at least one person in the world, will do deeds of the people of paradise, until there is between him and paradise a forearm span. For those of you guys that know what a forearm is, it's from your middle fingertip to your elbow. That's how far you are. That's how close you are to getting into heaven. It's very close. Okay? Then he will be overcome by what is written for him, and he's sealed off, so that he enters hellfire. So bear in mind, Allah overrides whatever good actions you've done up to this point because he's already said you have to go to hell. So he said, look, bro, I hear what you're saying. I understand the good works, but I've already said you're going to hell. And so even if you've declared your shahada, you've done good works and every single thing under the sun that makes someone a good Muslim, you're about to go into Jannah, you're about to go into paradise, Allah will override with his decree that you're going to go to hell and will force you to do a bad action so Allah can send you to hell.
Okay, yo, can you get that verse back on Quran.com?
Could you respond to this, please? If that's okay.
I thought you were talking to the people instead of me. I didn't even listen, to be honest.
That's fair. So I can read this for you again, okay? What things does Allah order the angel
I'm not wait,
to
because
write?
you just came now, right?
Yeah, sure, but I've been here listening.
Waiting,
I've been in the back channel listening. I was waiting as
quickly. So it's
I'll be
quickly,
honest,
I
I
wanna
was here
answer that
before,
question.
but I'm just gonna ask you again. What 4 things did Allah tell the angel to write?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not knowledgeable on this hadith. I haven't.
You can read this
hadith.
very explicitly. It's very clear. I even gave you like fancy little highlights right there, where it says he ordered
but
4
still,
things.
I would need to read and a bit more knowledge.
Could you read the 4 things on the screen? 2 in yellow, 1 in blue, and 1 in green. Could you read them?
Yeah, I'd have to read it in my own time, literally.
You can literally read it right here. So it says his provision, his lifespan, his works, and whether he'll be wretched or happy. Okay?
Okay,
He then
you can carry on
says,
giving your point. I'm just trying to answer the question.
I'm just going to read it. One of you will do the deeds of the people of paradise until there is between him and paradise a forearm span. And then he is overcome. So he did not choose this. He is overcome by what is written for him. He's overcome by Allah's conqueror's haki, and he does stuff. And he is sealed off with the people of the deeds of the fire so that he enters it. So he was supposed to go to heaven if you're just counting the actions that he did. But Allah used conqueror's haki and overrid the thing he wanted to do. And so now Allah can say, see, you did a bad thing. Now I can send you to hell. But the reason he's sending him to hell was because he overrid the program. He overrid the human program so he could do the bad thing. And the same example is for someone who does a bunch of bad stuff, but he's very close to paradise, and so Allah overrides the decree and makes him say La ilaha illallah, and so he can go to heaven. Allah overrides your decisions. So it's not like, oh, Allah's just preserving your possibility to do stuff, which is general. But very particularly, Allah can override the actions.
Crazy, bro.
You're saying overriding and all these terminology. I just came here to answer that. Basically.
It says overcome. Do you agree that Allah overcomes your will?
Question, bro. I'm telling you.
Cool. So does Allah overcome your will?
What do you mean, bro?
Okay, overcome. What do you think the word overcome means?
Overcome. I know what it means, but what do you mean?
Okay, good.
Your will?
So you see that thing that you think it means? Can Allah do that to your will?
No, I don't know how to answer that, bro.
You know, it's either yes or no, because it right there says that he is overcome.
I'm
so
not
like
sure.
he
It's an
does
open
do it.
question. I'm not sure.
It's not really. You know, it's so close that like you could see the words on the screen. It actually says like he is overcome. I'm just saying, innit? Like,
You gotta zoom in more. He probably can't see it.
sorry. Let me just make sure that you know
Yeah,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
here.
Like,
No, you had that quote up,
so
right? The will.
right here,
Something
as you
about
can
the will,
see,
right?
it says overcome, that he is overcome. So very, very importantly,
Hey, turn
okay.
that off. It's gonna give me.
Oh
ping.
yeah. It's gonna take it. Yeah.
So
let me make sure.
I wish we could play that, but
Bro, I promise you, bro. I wish. I usually mute it on my thing. But anyways, listen. It says that he's overcome. Okay.
Okay, what's the hadith? I can see here. Okay, nice.
Jamia Tirmidhi 2137.
Because you're literally you're asking a whole different question now.
No, I'm not. No.
Yes,
The
you are.
entire question
Came
is the
alone and
same.
Hanifa.
Let me even sum
No,
up
it's not.
everything David, everything Big Dawood, everything Sheikh Logic, everything that Sheikh Imam Life DTD with the dreads.
Start
Okay.
off back from that verse with the Quran.
Okay.
Start off from
The
there.
whole point is this. Allah doesn't just preserve the things that goes on in the universe like a providential father, okay? Allah has conqueror's haki. I'm going to explain what that means. For all of you One Piece fans, you understand what I'm talking about, okay? Conqueror's haki is the ability for you to basically overpower weaker people by your will. This is literally what Allah has. No word of a lie, okay? Allah has conqueror's haki. So, again, what Allah can do in your religion is Allah is an occasionalist. He basically creates actions that you're already having to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do a set of actions that perhaps, might be different from that, Allah will just override the decree anyways. Like you're going to go to hell regardless. You're going to go to hell no matter what, because you will just override whatever decision you try to do. That's what it means to overcome. Now, if you have a different interpretation, I'd love to hear that. And that's cool, and we can talk about that. But as it stands now, if we just take a prima facie reading of this, it's saying that he does a bunch of good stuff, and then, the commandment overcomes him. He doesn't choose for the commandment to be overcome, right? Something external. The commandment does something onto the person. It's an external
Can you
thing.
hear me? Or?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so just because that's like a difficult concept to grasp for most people, that a God who is omnipotent can.
The crazy thing is, it's not even that difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is very easy.
Yeah, so just because it's difficult, it's a difficult concept to grasp.
Again, it's not difficult. Like you're making it like it's ambiguous or complicated. It's very easy.
Who's omnipotent can design a test where everything is predetermined.
It's not okay. It's not a test.
We also have free will. We also have free will. It doesn't mean it's not possible.
How is this free?
Does it mean
Hold on, he's overcoming you. How is that free? You don't choose to be overcome. Do you choose to be overcome?
Why is it in the Quran when
I'm asking you. Do you choose to overcome?
No, it's in the Quran that you can't choose.
Let me ask you back.
Yeah, it's in the Quran that you cannot choose Allah unless Allah chooses you to choose Him.
Yeah, so you can't choose God. Like you can't choose
You
him.
can't choose Him. Allah makes you choose Him.
Yeah,
or Allah
bring
makes you not choose
81 up. Chapter 81, that verse you had up earlier. Bring it back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sure.
All I'm hearing is run from the hadith, go to the Quran, run from the hadith, go to the Quran, run from the hadith, go to the Quran.
If I told you I don't know, then I don't know. So what do you
That's
want me to
okay.
say?
Let's just show him that his Quran confirms the same thing that the hadith is saying.
The hadith.
No, go to Quran.com. There's a different translation from this one.
Why? What's the problem?
Different translation?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't trust these sources that you guys put up.
He wants to hear the Cataluna.
It's like Sam Shimon, the fake verse.
I don't know the guy that you're talking about, but still, like, let's just continue with the thing, though. You get?
Wow, man! He wants to.
Something like that. It's
you see how the Quran
from Quran.com.
Yeah, hey, do you see how the Quran confirms what the hadith was saying?
It confirms the Bible as well.
Bro, to be honest, that guy talks a lot, so I don't even listen to him sometimes.
Fair enough, you know what I'm saying? But it's right there. It's like overcome. It's like really big.
I'm not even saying that to you. Like you might be clever saying all the right things, but you use some long words which I don't know. Wait. So you use.
What was the long word I used? I said conqueror's haki. How was that a long word? That's anime. I'll be honest. Like that's not long at all.
I don't know anime. I don't watch that.
All right, so let's focus.
You don't watch anime.
It's okay. Let's focus here.
You're saying things that I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what you're saying.
So alhamdulillah, dude. Let's focus here. So in the hadith he showed you right on the page, it said that a person does the actions of a person belonging to paradise.
Okay, so
He's so close to paradise that he's a cubit, away from it. But then what Allah wrote for him overcomes him, and then he begins to do the deeds of hellfire, and then Allah sends him to hell. You see that? So Allah's will overcomes your will, and you either go to heaven or hell based on that. Okay? Allah made you do good or
what
made
do
you
you
do
mean
bad.
his will overcomes your will? What do you mean by that? I'm
It
getting
You know what it
means-
means? It means what
it
it says.
mean-
Like, I'm not
it
gonna lie.
means-
yeah, but I don't understand.
It means that if I'm choosing to read my Quran and go to the masjid every Friday and pray 5 times a day, and I'm doing the things that make me righteous and good in the eyes of Allah,
okay.
His will actually was for me to go to hell and do the bad things that go for me to go to hell. So His
Wait,
will,
how?
His will overcomes me, and then I start doing bad things. I stop praying 5 times a day. I start lying and maybe stealing or whatever, doing the things that will lead me to hellfire, and then Allah sends me to hell. So what He willed for me, even though I wanted to do good and I was doing good, what Allah willed for me overcame my will, and I started doing bad things because that's what He willed for me.
Okay, so you kind of answered yourself there. You said you started doing good. You were praying.
Because Allah,
So wait,
doing
so
good.
so when you're praying, when you're doing all this good, already hell is written for you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So hell is written
It's
for you. Then
already
you just
written.
said yourself, I started doing bad. I start at your own free will. God was
No,
you
you didn't
missed it.
choose
No,
to
no,
do
no,
the
no,
bad
no, no.
thing. You didn't
missed
choose.
it
This
again.
is.
Of course
You
you
didn't
did.
choose to do the bad
That's
thing.
free
Bear in
will.
mind.
Of course you did.
No, because it
Did
says
God
he's
physically
over.
make
Well,
you?
no, because it says he's overcome. So he didn't choose to do it. Conqueror's haki kicks in, right, and you just do the thing. So bear in mind, okay? I don't like. Bear in mind. Imagine this. I'm gonna give you a scenario, okay? There is a Muslim. No. It's very clear understanding. It says,
Hey,
whoa,
man, hey,
whoa.
look,
Let me
look,
finish.
look. If you're unable, bro, if you're unable to,
You said you haven't read. You said you haven't read this, so allow me to finish.
Guys, if you're unable to comprehend what's been said to you, bro, you don't belong here, man.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm
You
answering what you
just
said.
don't belong
Listen,
here.
listen. So I'm just repeating what you said. So you said then you started doing bad. Then you
Why?
started doing.
No.
Okay,
Why
wait.
did I?
Why did he
say I
start
started
doing bad? Why?
Okay, because you had free will.
No. What does the hadith say? The
Get the hell
hadith
out-
says
get the hell
not
outta
because
here,
you
man.
have free
You're
will,
dummy.
bro. It's not because you have free will, bro. It's very
dummy.
clear.
You don't
It's
belong
because of. Do you know what it is? It's even the conqueror's haki that Allah chose him to do that action of saying it's free will. He didn't choose that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what
Allah
Muslims have to
created
do.
the actions because He willed it.
He willed it, bro.
Muslims have to play dumb. They have to play confused and act like they're. I mean, I don't want to think that you guys are as stupid as you're pretending to be. So I'm throwing it to pretense. I'm saying you're pretending to be stupid so that you don't have to own up to what your Quran and Hadith teach. But some of you guys, man, y'all might not be pretending. I might have to submit that y'all are just as dumb as you're coming off.
No, wait, logic. You don't get it. You don't get it. Allah creates the stupidity.
Yeah, He created it so that you can do it.
And then they will to opt into the stupidity.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Come
have
on
to
now.
understand, bro. Like, you're not understand. Listen, this is what every theist believes, bro. Are you an atheist, God Logic? Are you an atheist? Okay, listen. Allah created the stupidity, and then Allah He actualized the stupidity because that is His will, and it's the will of the man. That's Allah, bro. Like,
right.
Why are you questioning Allah? Like, this is the problem.
Hello.
How you doing, Ibrahim? Do you believe that you have free will to choose Allah and be on the straight path by your own free choice?
On the straight path, yeah.
Yes, I do believe it, and at the same time, I believe that Allah is in ultimate control. So,
All right. So when it says here in the Quran, and I'll put it up on the screen for you.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that, man?
Sorry, man, that was an accident. I'm live cooking these guys.
Nah.
Peace.
Nah, I wouldn't have it. Get him back.
Where's the?
Get him back. Call someone.
81:28. It says,
yes.
"Unto whomever of you wills to walk the straight path, to walk straight, So you choose to walk straight, right? Whoever wants to walk straight of your own free will.
Yeah.
He says, you will not, you cannot, unless that Allah wills for you to will to walk the straight path.
Yeah.
So it's not you that's choosing to walk the straight path. It's Allah choosing for you to walk the straight path, right?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, we do believe that. Even, I mean, as a Muslim, even when I'm praying, like some of the prayers we do is we pray to Allah to keep us on the straight path, right?
Yeah,
To
but it's
guide us
not.
to
It's not you.
the
It's not
right
simply
path,
that. Just do
you
you
know?
see how you can't choose the straight path unless Allah puts you on? Unless Allah wants you to be on the straight path.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, there is truth to that. I mean, Allah is in ultimate control. But I mean, for me, to be honest, yeah, we know that's a debate. Really, what's the Christian take on that? Because I'm quite surprised that this is a debate. I don't really understand what's
Well,
the Christian take.
we don't believe that. We don't believe that God chooses our choices for us. He doesn't make us believe or make us not believe. In Islam, here you have Allah making you believe or making you disbelieve. You disbelieve because Allah made you disbelieve. You believe because Allah made you believe.
Yeah, but I mean, in a way, is yes, we believe because Allah makes us believe, and we disbelieve because Allah allow us to disbelieve is because Allah has designed us in a way that we are capable of believing or disbelieving, right? And
You're not capable of believing. You're not capable of believing unless Allah gives you permission to believe. You get it?
Absolutely, yeah. Everything is like, I mean, as a Muslim, every Muslim, whatever we do, like or whatever we intend to do, right? I mean, if you interacted with Muslims, I'm sure you know that whatever we intend to do, we always finish with Inshallah, right? You know, because because we understand that everything is down to Allah's will. So I don't have any problem with that. I mean, He's the ultimate power. He's the creator. So at the end of the day, yeah, like everything we do, like I have free will, but it's limited because at the end of the day,
That's where you missed it. You don't have free will because Allah chooses what you will. You get it? You don't. You want to choose to believe in Allah, but Allah's the one who makes you choose to believe in Him. The people who don't believe in Allah, who reject the message, Allah puts it in them to reject the message. Allah chose that they would reject the message.
Allah chose that they will reject the message. Yeah, but I mean, it's a bit like so. Okay,
don't try and compare it to Christianity. Just like actually explain.
No. It's not about comparing it. I want to understand the Christian take. Yeah, when you guys refer to. No, I'm not. I'm not even challenging. You know, to be honest, I'm just trying to understand.
It's not about like a challenge. Like let's focus on like what's going on here. Okay, so imagine if I tell you.
Is this about understanding each other? Because, like, to be honest, I just joined the live. I saw this topic and I was surprised that this is even a debate. I don't understand the Christian take, and I'm just asking questions. What's the problem with that?
The problem is that it's seen as a tukokwe as well as a whataboutism. It gets us away from the actual point. The point is here in your belief right now, there's something wrong. Regardless of if our belief is correct, you won't care about it because you think your belief is correct. So we need to demonstrate that your belief is wrong. Okay, you know what? I'll do this. I'll do this, right? I will talk about the Christian position and belief as on the condition that you accept that your belief is wrong.
I believe what?
If you believe that your position is wrong, then we can talk about some alternatives, okay? Christian alternatives, yeah?
No, I still don't. What?
Good. So let's keep talking about why you're wrong. Okay.
Bye. No, he's useless talking to you. Like, what kind of conversation is this?
Completely fine. And I
wait,
so this
should we? Okay.
Oh, he left. I didn't kick him.
No, I was gonna say, should we give him some Christian dower? But okay.
What they like to do is avoid. They like to avoid their position, to talk about what they believe, to talk about what the Quran says, and to do the Muslim shuffle over to Christianity. Well, what do Christians say? What does the Bible say on this? Well,
you guys believe this too?
You guys believe this too. It doesn't help you. Answer this. Stop running and answer this.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Christians don't believe that God is a puppet master.
Did God choose us though? Logic, Ephesians 1:4. No, God chose where believers will go. We have a destination designated for believers, already set up for us. So where as believers, we have a destination of where we're going as believers. It's not that he made us believe. Once we come into belief, there are promises that have been predestined and preordained to those who
For
believe.
those who believe.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind, like, people take the term predestination, and in the Bible, I just want everyone to understand this because everyone has to hear this, okay? When terms are used for God, we understand that they are not tensed. The only reason why we speak in a tensed way is because we are physically in times. We have to speak in such a way, like, say, God is putting things before things happen. It's not the case. We know that God dwells in unapproachable light, not in time. God is not in time. He's unchangeable. There's no variation. There's no shadow of turning in God. James 1:17. Okay?
Yeah.
So when we talk about predestination, the correct term that is used when we talk about these things is providence. Providence. Look how cool that word sounds.
Providence.
Let me read
Okay.
the super chat real quick.
Yeah, don't worry.
John
Troll
says,
fight.
read.
Ikra.
I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Alhamdulillah,
Amen.
Yeshua.
Alhamdulillah, Yeshua. Kenneth asks, Brother Avery, I praise God for your ministry. Do you have any encounters with Nation of Islam, Muslims? Also, what Quran and Hadith apps do you recommend for witnessing to Muslims? All right, number one, no. I never ever run into Nation of Islam Muslims. Never. Like I've run into one like once in my life, and that was on Clubhouse. So yeah, no, I never see them on the street. I never get knocks on the door. I never see them on TikTok or
Go to Chicago.
Oh, I will. I'll go to Chicago. Hopefully, I see somebody with a bow tie.
Red bow tie.
Yeah, I want to see somebody. You know. And,
I've seen a few on Clubhouse too. That's what I was gonna say. I never actually ran into one in person.
Never
Either,
in
but
person.
yeah, no Clubhouse.
What do they even?
Clubhouse.
They believe in some crazy things.
They believe in some weird off stuff, man.
They
low key though.
they're
Low
in
key.
and out. They're in and out of the Sunnah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, but it's
They different now.
I mean, it's honestly no different, bro. It's
There's
really
a difference
no
of
different.
opinion. There's a difference of opinion on the scholars, you know.
Low key though.
Difference of opinion.
I actually respect Farrakhan, but low key. But just that's a personal thing.
Good thing is low key. Good thing is low key. You almost
Yeah, it's not a big. Yeah, it's not like a big difference in like debating with other Muslims. They do have obviously, of course, they do hold different specific ideology in regards to Muhammad and the other Muhammads. But
The other Muhammad.
But,
WD Fahad Muhammad, man. Shout out to Allah coming down in the form of a man. Shout out to Allah, man.
So to answer them, I don't really have. Were you finished?
No, I was done.
Okay.
You was done? You finished?
So to answer, what apps do I recommend to help witnessing to Muslims? There aren't any apps per se that I could think of. But websites. You got answeringislam.org, Answering Islam Web. Answering Islam. They have every objection you could think of. They deal with answers. With the stuff that Muslims will come up with to try to answer. They got it all. And so study the articles on Answering Islam, and you'll become a beast.
Y'all need to download the GL app, the God Logic Apologetics app. Y'all got to download that.
Wait for it.
Born, bro.
Your arguments there, man.
Get all your arguments there, man. Don't
Get
even
all your arguments there, man.
Hey, Logic, how you answer this? Here's the app.
Search them up, keywords.
Bro, I need that, honestly, man.
That'd be
You
fire.
understand?
Thank you, Sig.
Somebody hit me up like, I'm pretty sure you already know the questions I have, and then sent verses, sent John 17:3, John 5:30, John 14:28.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, did you
That's what
did
we
you
do.
even look
That's
this
what
up?
we do. Well, you don't even
In
need to
the
look
GL
up.
app, available on
Yeah,
Android
GL
and
app.
iOS.
Downloadable on Windows, on iOS, on Android. Word is born. Listen, son, listen. We got the GL app now. We got it on the verses on where Jesus God. We got it. John 1:1, John 10:30. We got it all. Word is born, bro. You want to talk about how Islam is corrupt, bro? Get GL app right now, bro. We're going to go to the Surah. We're going to go to the Hadith. Word is born, bro. We got it, bro. No cap.
When that app comes out, we like an advert And it's gonna like take
Bro.
place like all across the world. We need like people in Australia, people in the UK, people in New
And
York.
like, I use the God Logic app because it really helps me to minister to Muslims. Thank you so much, God Logic. Yeah, that's gonna be great. It's gonna be hilarious.
Are Muslims Pokemon to Allah?
Basically.
No, they're just weaker pirates. Okay, you have to understand. In the One Piece verse, okay, Allah
Abdul,
is like.
I choose you.
I choose you. Yeah.
Abdul,
Abdul,
you never
hey, Abdulrahim, I choose you. Abdulrahim, I choose you. Listen.
Fatima,
And then he starts grabbing you by
go
the
to hell.
throat and he tells you to read.
Abdullah, uses Jesus as God. Worship me now. Abdullah, level it up to level 2. Melchizedek is also first and last. Now.
Abdullah,
Abdul Latif.
Use Rebecca was 3. Now go.
Abdul Latif, it's okay in Aisha's time. Abdul Latif, use it. Use it, Abdul Latif. I'll grab you at the throat.
evolve. Now use the LPT.
That's the evolve, bro. You got a base Muslim, you turn into a Charizard real quick. Word is bond.
What does that mean, card? Go.
Activate 2 cocaine. Go. Like, that's the real one, bro.
Do you know Arabic? Go.
Rebecca 3. Go.
Use the ultimate attack. It doesn't make sense.
This is the ultimate attack. This is the finisher. Tawheed is simple.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh my God. Ooh.
Trim Tim says, when God created heaven and earth, he didn't create the darkness. It was already there. Then he said to let there be light. He also didn't create evil. It came about after the fall. See, our God doesn't create moral evil.
I don't know about the darkness one, but okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say it was void, right? Like the creative portion was empty. So fine, sure, whatever, cool. I get it, whatever.
Yeah, there was no light. It was absent of light. You know what I'm saying?
The absence of light, man. You can't have an absence so they don't exist, man.
Not me. All right. Well,
that's what I'm saying. That's on Bloods. Is what I want.
We're past the 3-hour mark, so we hit our time, man. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank all of you guys for obeying the will of Allah and willing to come into the live stream and choosing to comment.
And be stupid. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Obeying the will of Allah.
Thank you for obeying the will
we
of Allah.
We appreciate everything, man.
And
we thank
hitting
you.
the like button.
Lightly.
You guys.
Lightly now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate you guys so much. And this is what you have to understand, man, because you need to not get frustrated. You need to not get irritated when dealing with a Muslim,
right?
Who is arguing with you and who stands on their business, because there's a way and a reason why it is that you cannot convince a real mu'min of anything. You cannot convince a real mu'minun that his faith is flawed. And here's why.
Allah gave me face, Allahu Akbar, subhanallah.